Hello everyone, welcome to a Link to the Past randomizer Crosskeys tournament 2022. This is a Swiss round 2 we have Maniacal versus Rhuidan. Hope I got your name right. On commentators we have Dazed Cloud and Clearmouse. And tracking for us tonight we have Toffile and Linkbit. So thank you all for being here, and commentators, take it away.
Well, good evening. We're pretty actually close to almost a Crosskeys after dark. It is certainly, the moon is shining quite brightly here, but we're gonna be well into our way. Days, how are you doing? I think it's morning for you actually, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm looking out on a beautiful, cloudy, humid day right here. I don't know what you're talking about.
Random time zone is the only time zone. But you know what? Looks like actually we're already off to the races with Maniacal versus Rhuidan. This is round 2 of Swiss for the Crosskeys Tournament 2022. Both of these guys actually lost their first game, so this is actually a 0-1 matchup. Losing one game, of course, in the tournament is going to be too big of a deal. You are technically allowed 2 losses within the Swiss stage before some maybe more questionable shenanigans, maybe in order to get you to the brackets, but certainly they're both going to be hoping to fight out a victory here. Did we ever just get an early hook shot, by the way?
We did. We did. The first thing that we grabbed out of the sanctuary today was just that hook shot. So, oh man, I'm gonna have to try to remember how to say this 500 times today, and I'm gonna mess it up at least. Rhuidan,
yes.
Rhuidan.
Yeah,
Rhuidan,
that's right.
Is running around with a hook shot at the moment.
So hopefully we're going to be walking and hooking in order to get, a couple of those extra screen, transitions that are going to be a little bit faster. It looks like, though, trying to mimic kind of some of the somewhat more standard opening routes, speaking of, there are the flippers that we found in Witch's Hut on Maniacal's side. Rhuidan really probably wishes he had those because it looks like he actually had a bit of a setup in order to try and fake flipper over here to the Witch's Huts.
Luckily for him, though, that little buzz blob there did drop a bomb, so that's going to be kind of useful depending on what exactly he finds here at the useless ferry. Once we can get this fake flipper here lined up, it's awkward. Got it. There you go. Maniacal doing well with this. Now we'll see if Rhuidan gets any sort of luck with his drops there. It doesn't look like he did, unfortunately.
Yeah, oh my gosh, though, dude, the luck on Maniacal's side. He got a bomb from the buzz blob, and we found the well. Alright, so he's for sure not going to abandon anything here. Rhuidan, we're going to definitely hope, in this case, that there's going to be some bombs, so he doesn't have to come back here. Our first small key to Turtle Rock. What is back here?
Let's find out. It's... Oh! I'm good.
It's a good item. Certainly, it's not going to probably be too costly, but oh my gosh. Alright, so those mirrors are removed. Dude, we already not going to have any bunny music already? I'm a little disappointed, days.
It does seem like we're not going to be having any sort of that, and it looks like, okay, so I kind of wondered if Maniacal might do this here with picking up that 300 out of the back. Go ahead and just decide, you know what, I'm not going to hula hand now, because I don't need to. I got a ridiculous amount of money.
Yeah, I mean, it turns out in this case, that Rhuidan, actually, the hula hand is pretty much equivalent, right, to the back of the well. Although there just might be that kind of like in the back of your head, I gotta remember to go back there. Now, if he never ends up going back there, probably not gonna hurt him, but again, I think you probably certainly make it a priority to go back there.
Yeah, at some point there, you're gonna see that. Now that we know that those buzz blobs drop bombs, your Maniacal is just going to farm and farm away, but decides not to buy the bombs there, and then realizes, wait, that was a shop, let me go buy the bombs.
Alright, we already found, in this case, looks like our early sick kit as well. No bottle, of course, but it's actually pretty easy to get to location. To actually enjoy some of these, like earlier Lake Hylia plays, just because, it seems like if you don't end up doing it on the earlier side, you kind of end up leaving it for significantly later. And if, of course, there's something important there, certainly could, end up costing quite a bit of time.
You never want to go ahead and leave your leave your mirror over here for an hour,
exactly.
20 minutes. That's a bad feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And back of escape here. We're gonna get a quick look here. We're gonna start off with 20 rupees, a heart container, and a piece of heart. So we're sitting at 5 hearts within 4 minutes of the seed here. So things aren't going too badly for pretty much anybody at the moment.
Yeah. So early health, certainly you're probably not going to turn it down. Now, of course, the more health that we are going to accumulate through the rest of the seed, we are going to hope to find that mirror, probably on the sooner side. I mean, mirror is always kind of one of those, like big ticket MVP items, of Crosskeys. Oh, we do find a big key here, which is Turtle Rock. Okay, so we have big key Turtle Rock, a small key Turtle Rock. So if we find Turtle Rock, we're sitting looks like actually pretty good.
Yeah, and we got the Smiths over there on the other side, leading towards Kakariko there, that fortune teller's hut just right outside. So kind of good to know. Gonna grab a quick chest game here, get our money back, and then even more. So not gonna be too bad coming out of that with a pod key, but more importantly, even more money. So sitting pretty. But let's see what we got over here. We're going to keep working our way through Kakariko. Going to grab a nice Agina check real fast. Be able to maybe pick up something interesting here. We got Rhuidan over going to Sanctuary there. And they're going to find out that is where our Gannon is today. So gonna come back eventually after we have all 7 crystals and all sorts of other beautiful things that we need to beat this game.
Yeah, so it looks like though, currently, right, the GT climb for AGA 1, for AGA 2, or AGA 1 itself does not look to be exactly required, at least to fight Gannon, but so we're going to see in this case if there's going to be anything else that's logically required or like a progressive item up there. But certainly at least not for Gannon.
Right. Well, I mean, that's always kind of one of those things. You kind of sometimes wish that if you're gonna have Gannon, you want him to be either so having him behind the GT climb is actually, it kind of simplifies life for you a lot in this game. When he's just kind of floating around in the world here, the climb becomes one of the great questions of the entire seed.
Yeah, I mean, right, and like one of the benefits of Crosskeys is that it is fast Gannon, right? Technically, we don't necessarily need to beat, Gannon's tower just like most of the others, modes. But again, right, double-edged sword, right? If for example, it's going to be required, like you don't have any real hesitations, right, in order to go climb.
Yeah, and that just makes your life easier because then you see the GT big key and you go, you know what? I found GT. I'm gonna go ahead and do this right now, immediately, and just get the sucker taken care of. But today, with our pig sitting right there in the middle of where Sanctuary is supposed to be, things gonna get a bit interesting, and I think that's our first connector. Right there.
Amazing, actually.
Yeah.
Normally, especially when you kind of explore out Kakariko, you want to try and get the whole village, and then, you get through 2 entrances, and bam, you find a connector, and you're like, okay, I guess I gotta go take it.
That's gonna take us to the monkey hut there in Dark World, and Maniacal deciding, you know what? This is one of the most annoying regions of the world to be in. I guess we're going to kind of go look at this, but Rhuidan going ahead and exploring Kakariko a little bit more, just found Paradox Cave, so I think one decision going to work out a little better than the other one.
Yeah, we also do have bombs in order to kind of, well, also to get to the back here, but also, we can also kill the mini Moldarms in order to basically follow out another connector. But certainly, 7 items here are going to be, quite the load, or I guess more bombs, a little bit of money. Although, Maniacal is actually finding some pretty good things of his own. Hyrule Castle, certainly, good connectors, but also, of course, we do have 3 items here in the back of Escape. And
very interesting that that Maniacal immediately, first thing that he does is follow the connectors.
Yeah, that's actually true. Maybe he doesn't want to spend the bombs in order to... I mean, I guess we have a pearl, so maybe we'll get locked up as much. Although we are coming from the Dark World now, he does have to probably be a little bit careful. Happens to be, in this case, if you enter Dark World, the rats and ropes end up doing 2 hearts of damage. So might be, just a little bit conscious of his health.
Yeah, and I'm gonna give a very hard agree here to our tracker there, Latebit, who mentions that the connectors that he found are really good if he finds a mirror. Now, unfortunately, that's not going to be a mirror there, and we got. It turns out like Rhuidan there went ahead and started checking out some of our entrances for the back of the back of Paradox game. Ended up in the back of Skull Woods, which is also kind of a good one to find. Now you know you don't need to go back here.
I mean, and it is a little bit dangerous. He does have blue mail, just make things a little bit nicer. But yeah, back of Skull Woods, especially with no fire rods, certainly can be, very off-putting. Especially, do you want to go back to Skull Woods and explore? Even though it's like, I've got to look at good items here. But also, again, right, we've got our first foray into the Dark World.
Grab how about a key to Gannon's Tower down here with also a map to Desert Palace over on Rhuidan's side. So we, a couple of things. See if this pays out. 10 arrows is not what we call paying out, but we're going to be able to get this one key, and go from there. See exactly what we're going to pull out of this.
Yeah, and of course, right. What currently Maniacal is doing right now is technically out of logic. We don't actually have the sewers key yet, so it's only the map chest. So I think the GT small is technically still not quite in logic yet. We do have a big key too. Hera, okay.
Okay, now that's interesting. Because exactly the same reason that you said, because that one is locked behind the sewers key. We don't know when that sewer ski is going to get. It might show up very soon, or it might show up extremely late. Either way, we're just going to kind of not worry about it right now.
Yeah, right. I mean, most of the time, right, logic is really, just kind of help you keep track of maybe, should I expect to see a couple keys show up sooner rather than later? But, I mean, if you find Hera, you're absolutely going to use that big key.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. And Maniacal now doing something kind of smart there. He found that one of these entrances does lead out into the light world there, so he's going to reset the ropes and the rats back here to their light world state instead of their extremely scary dark world state. Yeah. And we're going to go for a beautiful, beautiful dark walk, trying to figure out exactly where is the chest in Dark Cross. So this is fun times.
Oh yeah, right. I mean, so luckily, of course, Maniacal does have the hook shot. Can use it a little bit to get some echolocation. Not the best thing, just because, especially if the hook shot will extend the entire way, right, of the screen until it hits something. Luckily, there are a couple ropes in the way, so Maniacal can find his way. It's almost there. Just some bombs, but at least a nice refill for what it's worth.
I Clear Mouse, I want to say I think he's maybe done that before.
Yeah, maybe once or twice. I believe Maniacal has played this game for a while.
once or twice there, yeah. I mean, both of these guys are known, are pretty well known. Rhuidan is a little bit of a newer runner, but I've seen some pretty good results from them in a couple of the, kind of pick up cross key matches that we've had here. And I'm kind of this is not a seed where, I mean, for one, it's Crosskeys, and I don't think anybody's ever really favored unless you're like Goomba. But we'll have to see exactly how these guys do it, because like you mentioned, both of these guys lost their first race of the year, so we're gonna have to see exactly who's gonna move to 1-1 at the end.
Exactly.
Of this. Mm-hmm. Now, Maniacal, a little bit of really good measurement. Here we've got a measurement memory. There we go. There's the words. It's Sunday morning. I'm tired.
It's Sunday. Early morning Crosskeys, late night Crosskeys. Basically same effect.
Brain no wanna worky is what I'm saying here. But remembering that he doesn't have any bombs, but also remembering where a shop was there in Kakariko out of those kind of useless checks he did earlier, so he could go ahead and grab another pack of 10 bombs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course, right. Even though we do have a really valuable item, the hook shot would end up, kind of one-shotting a lot of enemies, we still don't really, have too much of a permanent weapon, right? And well, we don't really have much of a weapon at all. So having, especially some early bombs kind of at your disposal, not only, of course, can, open up some bombable floors or walls, also serves as a pretty good weapon, which actually can put some stuff in logic.
Yeah, yeah. We did find one weapon though over on Rhuidan's side. There, he did grab a cane of Burna. So
That is
with
true. That is very true.
His tiny little bit of magic.
Yeah, but again, like random resources that we end up picking up, right? And that's actually, kind of heads up on, both Maniacal and Rhuidan to try and, kill a couple enemies to see what the prize packs are, right? Maybe, if we get some like rupee crabs or tree pulls, right? All these little things can add up because you really don't know when you're going to be able to find the next thing that can help you out, right? In this case, Cane of Burna actually is a valid weapon, and if we have a little bit of magic, then we'd actually use it.
Yeah, I mean, farming magic in the early game until you actually get something that you can, use is an extremely valid strategy. Like, anytime that I find Uncle Drop there, which Rhuidan did show us there, Uncle Drop was actually at the lumberjack tree today, which is, a really good place for that to be. You pick up those 2 magic containers in there just because that might be your best weapon.
Yeah, your only.
Yep. 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's the beauty of Crosskeys, right? Is because it's entrance, there can certainly be some very creative situations for you to be able to try and basically clear out like kill rooms.
That's my favorite part about it, is that, it's like, all right, here you go. You've got a bomb, and you've got a couple of other things here. Try to figure out how to get through a mire 2. Good luck! It's like,
yeah.
Hey.
It's like, That's, of course, not that we necessarily would see an Ice Rod show up early, but that is a room where the Ice Rod can shine.
That's true. That's always a fun thing when you realize that the Ice Rod can do that there. Good times. Kakariko kind of being a ghost town here outside of that Paradox Cave. A couple of things down south there, but man, yeah, we're just
we've started out so nicely. Being able to get the hook shot and of course the moon pearl out of the well. Basically means that we're pretty much safe in the dark world, but yeah, in terms of other progression, not really too much of a direction so far.
True. Now Rhuidan going ahead, he finds desert right here, which is good because I think he's checked out everything else in this area. Checking out everything else in this area, he basically means, well, I'm gonna follow this connector because what else would I do with my time right now? Yeah,
of course, no desert small key yet, so which means we can't actually do the desert right side. But we are going to be able to take a peek at what's on the torch, see if we're going to come back here with boots. Actually, maybe.
If I have boots and big key, I'm coming back. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I want that. Especially with blue cane.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, half magic is already a pretty strong luxury item, I guess, in this case. But especially if we can get, we're always going to hope for early boosts. And of course, it doesn't always seem to happen. But if we actually do get them at some point, it's certainly going to be quite nice.
Yeah, and kind of interestingly enough, now see one thing, you get an early moon pearl. Yeah, you start going, oh, okay, I got an early moon pearl. Yay, I don't have to find the moon pearl. And then you start finding tons of connectors to the dark world.
Yeah, exactly.
And at that point, you're going, all right, so, wait, what do I do now?
Yeah, exactly. Right. It's like you sometimes don't want to find too many big progression items too quickly, just because if you kind of let them trickle in one at a time, you at least have some direction. It's like, okay, I only have these 3 options, right? So I'll just pick one and I'll just go. Once you end up finding something like the pearl, right, or maybe something like myths or something in order to basically open up the rest of the scene. Now you have like 50 different choices. You're like, oh, which one of these do I end up doing? And I hope I make the right decision.
I believe Rhuidan has made the right decision here. Just grabbing a hype cave, but it is okay. Wow. I'm gonna need a little more than that, game. Okay.
All right. Lamp is okay. It is a fire source. And of course that means that we don't have to do any dark rooms. Technically now the 3 bombs that Maniacal found in Dark Cross is now in logic. And of course this is Crosskeys. Just a kind reminder, of course, that there's no such thing as advanced logic, no fire rod locking anything for like dark rooms or stuff like that.
Yeah, if I remember right, we're still Crosskeys works off of V28 or something like that. V28 logic, okay. Which means we're quite a few things back here, and one of the things that hasn't been updated there is, yeah, the ability to, do kind of rooms with fire, dark rooms with fire on and stuff like that. That's not something that we really have to concern ourselves with a whole lot, as we're getting a couple of early map checks from Rhuidan here. That's kind of something that you see a lot of newer players want to do, because they want to know exactly, hey, what is it I'm getting there? Oh, my Maniacal's grabbing a mirror.
Yeah, I was gonna say, right, this curiosity shop that actually, Rhuidan was actually over here a little bit earlier following the desert middle connector, spit him out here, I think, in the Dark Lumberjack shop. Maniacal ended up making his way to the curiosity shop, and Myershed certainly really did pay out big with that mirror. And of course the shovel. We can't forget the shovel. Infinite resources, like up the wazoo, because we can dig whenever we want. I think he's probably excited about the shovel or the mirror.
I mean, I'd be excited about both of them, honestly, because the route he's going to take is going to lead him right there. Now, one thing I will say is he grabbed that mirror there at the Curiosity Shop, didn't take a quick little right to go over and check the graveyard ledge, but you come back later, maybe with boots, and grab it then. I mean, it's just one of those things, because, I mean, if you get Mini Moldorm Cave and you get a hammer, then you made the right choice, and I shouldn't ever listen to anything I say.
I was gonna say, it's just one good decision leading to the next one.
Yeah, now all we need is a glove, and we can just go ahead and not have to worry about connectors again for a while.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, what of course, like the nice thing about Crosskeys, or some of the creative things about Crosskeys, is that sometimes you could actually not get traditional Dark World access for quite some time, right? So you can have to really remember some of those connectors in order to get you there. But yeah, we're basically just a glove away from being able to access all of the points we need. But until then, we still get to enjoy our connectors.
Right. And speaking of enjoying connectors, we have Rhuidan making his way through Spectacle Rock Connector, and this is gonna put us out somewhere. That is gonna be Dark Witch's Hut, which, well, this is okay for where he is. He can hookshot across the river there if he decides to, but yeah, more than likely was just gonna save and quit out of there. That makes sense.
Yeah, he has knowledge now for where that connector goes, and actually, for what it's worth, I don't know if it's considered to be a shortcut over to Catfish. Not that Catfish gets any more love in this mode than most any other mode, but at least once we get a glove, we can basically go at least access that.
All right, for a couple of people that I saw who are all getting excited about PED, we're going to find out real quick if there's actually something on PED here in just a second. We're going to make our way over here as we grabbed whatever item it was out of Skull Woods there over on Maniacal's side, and with the PED today is 10 arrows. So yeah, we're going to be skipping that one.
I guess so. Nothing exciting.
Yeah, sorry everybody. Come back tomorrow when we'll have a PED seed for you. Guaranteed.
Yeah, guaranteed. That's right. Alright, looks like the Maniacal actually hasn't been over here. Maybe looks like, so at least we know in this case, from Rhuidan's side, that it was just 20 rupees on the race game. So Maniacal's probably not going to take it after he kind of takes a peek over. Yeah, just turns right back around. But he is with that mirror, of course, going to be able to check this connector here.
Yeah, one of the most annoying early spots in the game is this one here. Oh, Maniacal, there's free magic in a bomb there, bud.
Okay, well, I guess once you kind of leave, I guess, not going to, I guess, be worth it. Maybe he'll think so. He'll just get magic later. Maybe, for what it's worth, he doesn't have the Cane of Burna that, Rhuidan does, so maybe he thinks that magic isn't going to be too important. Hopefully, maybe he'll also dig up a little bit here in digging. He's getting a ton of money, though. No magic so far.
Well, getting a little bit now. Rhuidan, they're grabbing, stealing the key from.
Desert back.
Stealing the key from Desert. Okay. We're just gonna hold that, because this goes poorly more times than it works, but we'll see what he does with it there, because it could just be holding on to it, and it could just, that's fine. I have it just in case I want it for later.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Yeah, we haven't. Well, we still don't know. What desert is. Oh no, we do need. And we know that desert is crystal. Never mind. Actually, thanks to our trackers today, Tofile and Latebit, keeping track of everything. Know that at least in Rhuidan side, it is a crystal. So yeah, that desert small. Pretty important. We are gonna have to beat Lambolas today.
Yeah, kind of a big deal. So let's find out. Furthermore, if we've got anything at the desert entrance today. Well, okay, we're gonna have a big question here, because this is the Quarreling Brothers connector, and we are back at Link's house, Bonkarox. That's a connector we're just gonna throw in the garbage.
Yep,
because
that's pretty useless at this point.
Yeah, we don't need that one. Now, interesting, Maniacal had Dark World access, could continue on his route here. Instead, we're deciding to go through Spiral Cave slowly with no boots and no hope, as we just slowly.
It's if you imagine this to be like a cinnamon roll or like curly fries, it is a little bit more appealing.
Curly Fries Cave. Yeah. Yes, Curly Fries Cave. We're in. 20 rupees for a Curly Fries Cave. Fantastic.
Yes. Yeah. All right, but this is actually a pretty nice connector on the bottom of Dark Death Mountain. We do have a small key here in Checkerboard Cave.
Yes. What do we got here? Which small key is this? It's a Meyer key.
It was so exciting until it wasn't.
Yep. It's like, ooh, we have a key. But more importantly, though, he's now got access to the entire area over here. Now, maybe don't mirror there. It'd be better if he mirrors on the other side of the bushes there, so he could get that middle chest as well. But Shut Cave, you know what? Again, don't listen to me.
These are really good decisions here on Maniacal's part. We're just really stumbling upon all of most, if not all of the like high item density 4 or 5 caves. Another Meyer small key, very interesting. And some money, so then I can turn it down. But yeah, so the first Meyer key is always going to be really nice, just because it'll help you out with some routing. You technically don't need any of the keys to, if you know how to use them or not use them in this case, to get around the dungeons. Speaking of dungeons, we found Thieves Town, another high density 4 items here in the front, and we got the nice mirror in order to warp right back to the beginning. Oh my gosh, we found a flute as well! Rhuidan, can you go back and follow Maniacal's path? He seems to be hitting a really good item chain here.
This is one of those times where, hey, my route is working extremely well. Yes. I hope it continues to work. Because man, he's feeling. If you're Maniacal,
he must be feeling really good.
I can actually see his face over on the other side there. He got a little bit of a smile. A little bit of a smile there.
Yeah.
All right, but Rhuidan over in the basically the Ice Rod Cave area. So Maniacal go heads and grab a sword because everything else is good for him. And oh man, if Rhuidan had the mirror right now, everything would be amazing. But right now, unfortunately, he has a connector that he's gonna want to come back to a little bit later.
Yeah, and right. So, and I guess Rhuidan also did, as you mentioned, going over to the Ice Rock Cave area. Unfortunately, still no glove. So the 20 rupee cave, originally entrance is going to be somewhat more isolated. But we're here in GT. We don't have a hammer quite yet in this case, but we do get, knowledge of GT basement especially can be pretty good.
I mean, you want to come back here. It's got a ton of items. Not at the moment. You can only get 2 of them. They're both hearts. You get a heart refill. I mean, cool. Good. Good, I guess.
Yeah, it looks like also he is going to check out the torch item. We don't have boots yet, but, a little bit of knowledge certainly could very help out. In this case, we know we don't have to come back here specifically for that torch item. So I guess maybe, you have a better sense, but I've definitely seen some runners days, but basically just, if they don't boost, they basically just never check the torch and they just kind of leave. It does save a little bit of time, but I don't know if you favor that.
I'm kind of 50-50 on that. It depends on how I'm feeling. The earlier it is, the more likely I am to probably disregard it at some point. Because I mean, at some point, I am probably just gonna like want to jump over and I'm gonna go over there when I have the hammer. So
Fair.
kind of, it's really like, hey, how am I feeling at that moment right then?
Yeah.
That's really what it comes down to. All right, a dark cave of mystery over on Maniacal's side there. That would be the old man rescue. So we're gonna slowly work our way through here and try not to fall down any of the holes.
Yeah, of course, while Maniacal is very capable of being able to do these dark rooms, Rhuidan, of course, does have the lamp, which, of course, would render these dark rooms pretty harmless.
And that's kind of the question here that we've got for this, is that Rhuidan went over down to the eastern area and was able to go ahead and grab a lamp out of Hype Cave, which was the only thing in Hype Cave worth mentioning, but is going to make things a little bit more interesting. Now we're going to grab this. He's going to go back through Bombo's cave here. Yeah, Bombo's cave. Curly Fries cave.
Curly Fries cave, yes.
Ooh, but more importantly,
I've never seen the old man walk that way, by the way.
Oh yeah, he always goes to the right first, and then realizes that his cave is behind him. He's dumb, but so it's actually a logical bow for Maniacal, but not for him necessarily.
Right, yeah.
But it's illogical for us.
Yeah, I mean, that bow certainly is actually, there are two bows, of course, out there. This is not progressive bows, but finding a bow early, especially, is super nice. Of course, we do have Kina Berna, in order to, of course, be a somewhat permanent bow. We have a sword, but, of course, that bow and arrow can certainly help unlock quite a bit of stuff. For example, if we find Pod.
Yep, definitely. I mean, Pod would be pretty nice there, especially we got two keys for Maniacal, so if you find Pod, if you have the big key, then you have a super fun decision to make. But other than that, this is going to be all right. I
think Maniacal has all of the item caves at this point.
He's missing Sasharala.
That's true. Okay,
he's missing Sasharala. He hasn't gone to Hype Cave yet, but I mean, between all of us, we now know where everything is. But I mean,
I cannot believe the amount of great items that Maniacal's found basically within 30 minutes of this game. We are already up to Master Sword on his side. We have traditional Dark Lord Axe with that glove. We have a mirror. We have a bow. We've got a hook shot. We got a pearl. We got a flute. Like, give me some boots, and we're zooming.
This is for 30 minutes. This is about as good as you're gonna get.
Yeah, this is actually quite amazing.
Like, this is fantastic here. Like, the only thing, like you mentioned, the only thing that he's missing right now to make this even better would be the boots. Like, if he got the boots, then everything, at that point, I start getting kind of nervous that somebody's going to beat my high score. But,
don't worry, I think that high score is pretty safe.
Oh my god!
What? I cannot believe this. We found the miss on Ether Tablet. Holy cow! And we absolutely needed that Master Sword from Blind's Hut as well. Like, we definitely could not have gotten it otherwise.
This crazy.
The entire world. Both Light and Dark is completely open to Maniacal at this point, right? There's no minus the boost lock locations, of course, but there are no other entrances that he's basically going to be short on. And he has the mirror and the flute in order to get around very efficiently. So this is going to be really nice for the Maniacal to be able to do for routing.
Yeah. You don't ask for much more than this, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
This is wild. It's really, really, really interesting what's going on here. Now, Rhuidan about to go ahead. He's making their way down to this mire shed here, where he's going to grab shovel and, more importantly, the mirror, because
the mirror. That's right.
Seen so many good things already. As we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna open up the portal on top of this. Now, Maniacal's going to be able to clear out a decent amount of GT when he finds it here in just about 2 seconds.
Oh, yeah, that's right. When we found it on Rhuidan's side, only having the hook shot, so no Canis Mario, of course, means no right side. No hammer means no left side, but Maniacal, he definitely has at least one out of Logic GT small key that he can, kind of work with. But yeah, the left side is basically just fully open to him at this point.
Yeah, I mean, best case scenario for Maniacal here. Well, the best practice I would say for Maniacal here would be to not open the map chest over on the left side. You can go back for that one pretty quickly if need be. But with one key, if you do find, say, Samaria and Fire Rod on the left side, which, I mean, with the way Maniacal's running, I kind of expect it. That way you still have the ability to go ahead and clear out right side GT if you want. But let's see what we grab here. We're gonna hop our way over to Stalfos' room. It turns out that exactly like we had expected, Graveyard Ledge had nothing. Hi, Samaria.
Oh my gosh! So now we have access to GT right side, thanks to that Kata Samaria.
Yep. Give it a couple of seconds. We'll grab the thing as well. Our stun prize today, 10 arrows. That's
with the bow that Maniacal has, actually some pretty nice. And honestly, like arrows is kind of one of those like late game things maybe that you use. Like, oh yeah, I kind of maybe need some arrows. Maybe be able to use that. But it looks like we're not going to skip out the map chest today. It is just another map, but in this case, it's not a map to GT. It's a map to Turtle Rock.
Yeah, that's we'll see what happens there. That's a bit unfortunate, but probably is going to be fine here. I mean, getting back here, I mean, thinking out the top of my head, it's not. He'll have opportunities to get back here.
Yeah, right. I mean, right. And the only kind of like initial recommendation, right, is that the GT map chest is locked behind 4 GT smalls. So like if you miss it, you skip it on the very first pass, probably not going to be too big of a deal, just because that in this case you probably have to find a couple more GT smalls in order to put in the logic.
Yeah, it's more of a numbers game more than anything.
Exactly.
You go, okay, I can get 4 chests, or I can get like 4 or 5 chests, or I can get 1. Which one should I choose?
Exactly. Yeah.
And sorry.
No.
I'm watching the Gibdos chase Rhuidan around.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, you gonna be all right there, bud?
Yeah, he could really use that Kata Samaria that Maniacal just ended up picking up. Maybe this could be like a co-op, Crosskeys seat, right? One person gotta go one direction. He's like, hey, look at all the stuff that I can hopefully pass on to you.
Oh man, yeah, that would get a little bit of multi-world Crosskeys or something in here. That's always a fun time. Gonna keep working through it right now. We're gonna see if we can find a fire rod maybe in back here, but we'll see what he gets. Everyone's saying he doesn't have fire rod. I'm saying he doesn't have fire rod yet, guys. Give it a second, all right? Calm down. I'll have fire rod.
That's right. Certainly, we've got this chest up here right above Ice Armos, and we have 3 chests behind Ice Armos as well. If we end up somehow magically finding a GT big key down here, we also have the big chest. We have tile room. That's totally in logic, by the way.
Yep. And to be completely honest, this is actually one time where not being able to do right side is probably a decent thing, because leaving behind GT big chest is
oh yeah, it's pretty heavy on the mental toll for sure, right?
Yeah. Alright, Rhuidan is grabbing their hammer right now. Gonna grab a couple other things. We got another castle tower key, or is that just the first one for this?
I think it's the second castle tower key, because I think we found the other one on Rhuidan's side, which was in Pyramid Fairy, or maybe it's Waterfall Fairy. They look very similar inside, but yeah, it is both castle tower keys in this case.
And of course, we grab the castle, not the castle tower, but we grab a GT small key there out of out behind Ice Armo. So that would be what GT4 is that's what it would have to be there with the stuff. Well, let's play around in Tile Root for a minute here. We'll put on our cape, hug a wall, and then just wait for 30 seconds. How's that sound? Yeah,
that sounds good. Maniacal's probably, just taking a little bit of a breather after, being so overwhelmed with all of the stuff that he's found in the first 30 minutes of the game.
Yeah, at some point you have to kind of sit here and go like, okay, so what do I do next? I have almost everything in the game. All right.
Yeah. All right, well, looks like just a hard piece, so nothing in this case to be worried about.
Alright, now what is Maniacal's play here? So it looks like we're gonna take a jump down the Spiral Cave side. Okay. Save and quit out.
Alright, so meanwhile, though, Rhuidan has actually found the Turtle Rock big chest entrance. So, of course, with the big key and a couple of small keys, we can actually get pretty far. No Key to Samaria, unfortunately, for Rhuidan, just because we did find it, of course, in Random Room of GT. So we're not going to be able to go probably any further than, in this case, a Crystal Roller Room. But at least we're going to be able to get this chest. Oh, hey, look, there's our Source Key.
Okay, so that's, what was that? That was the interesting thing there was the Tower of Hera key, right? The big key. And there was,
yes,
I guess there
correct.
was one,
There's one GT small.
Mm-hmm. Right, as well. I guess that's another reason maybe Rhuidan won't exactly rush going back to GT is right now, can't really do a whole lot there. I mean, you can do enough. You can do enough with a couple of, interesting key usage, but, I mean, it's not... There's nothing jumping up and down saying, hey, come here, come here, come here.
Yeah. Alright, Maniacal, activating the flutes. Now we've got some really nice overworld travel, at least in the light world, so we're going to be able to freely make our way onto Death Mountain.
I like this kind of idea from Maniacal there. He came up here, and when he got the flute, he didn't kind of keep going with doing a lot of the drop downs and stuff. He just immediately ran over, did the right side, the east side of Death Mountain, kind of picked up some things there, knowing that the flute meant that he can literally flute back to 1 by pressing the button twice.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
So. Pretty good. Man, what is it with these guys and choosing not to pick up the full magic container out of the front of the rock? Seriously.
That's actually a really great question. I don't know, maybe they're both influenced by Dig Game. We did see Maniacal dig up at least a couple of small magic canters, but look, there you go. We've already got 2 out there, 3 on Rhuidan. Who needs that big magic? He apparently knows more than we do.
I mean, that's true. I mean, every single time I've questioned him, I mean, something ridiculous has happened in his favor 2 seconds later. So yeah, I think I'm gonna learn to just keep my mouth shut.
Yeah. Alright, so we did find Upgrade Fairy on Maniacal's side on Death Mountain, so we ended up buying both the bomb and arrow upgrades. Certainly not going to be necessarily a bad idea. He is on Master Sword, so at least offense-wise, not going to be too big of a deal, but you never know in this case, right? If you want to basically end up spending, a couple of extra bombs or arrows. Certainly really nice refill of that too.
Well, and you kind of mentioned late game here. Like, we don't know what bosses are required yet, but there could always be a time where, like, it turns out what you've got at the end of the game there is you've got, like, a Vidi and Armos Knights combo to finish off your seed, and then all of a sudden you're going into Gannon, and you're like, all right, here we go, let's fight Gannon. And then you look down at your arrow count, and you realize you only have 2, and you go,
yeah, that's not a feels good moment.
Mistakes have been made. Well, Stumpy and Digging Game got nothing too crazy right there. Now, we did just find out that Misery Mire is a 5/6 crystal, so that's kind of nice for this, as we are going to dig up just 10 arrows.
Just 10 arrows, so nothing. Yeah, Rhuidan doesn't even have that bow yet, because he hasn't rescued the old man, so he can't even end up using any of these arrows that he's, basically overflowing with. Alright, and speaking of, so Maniacal actually, a little bit faster way over here to the Ice Rock Cave area, is not going to have to isolate that 20 rupee cave entrance, assuming he doesn't follow the connector, in this particular case.
Yeah, he'll probably, I imagine he's going to be following that connector in just a minute. Oh, Rhuidan found the ugly end of Super Bunny Cave there, where you kind of sit there and you go, let me check some other things first.
Yeah.
Now, the other things we're going to check, looks like we're going down to the Swamp Palace entrance over on Rhuidan's side. Gonna grab whatever, and I kind of think Maniacal is going to take one look at this and probably turn right around. Hey, hello, Ice Palace.
Yes, hello, Ice Palace, that we can't do anything in right now. We have no Fire Rod, which of course we were still looking for earlier for right side GT. But also, actually, Rhuidan's still swordless at this point, so I was gonna say even he can get a Bombos Battalion, but not gonna help him. We found Meyer too? Is that what we saw?
I go back. Go back.
Yeah,
Ooh,
I was actually,
really go back there. You've got 4 items, very much in logic.
It doesn't even look like the easiest one to get back to either, right? Because it's like the center entrance, right? Light World Laser Bridge.
Yeah, that's not a quick walk back. I mean, his best bet right now is doing kind of how he got up there this last time and going down to the Ice Rod Cave area all the way up. I mean, I guess there is a Hyrule Castle entrance that spits out there, but I mean those Hyrule Castle entrances are at pod. Like his other one is at pod entrance. So, it's that's a decision there. Hopefully that doesn't come back to bite him. Probably gonna go back there later, but yipes.
It is right. I mean, Maniacal. Look at all the stuff that he found in the first 30 minutes. I certainly he seems to know what he's doing. So
this is true. Mm-hmm. I mean, we have proven up there that he's definitely found the route here. He's going to run into this as way.
Yeah, this is real great news. Sight for sore eyes on Rhuidan's side because that is his first sword at the 40, almost 5-minute mark. Now at least he's got a bit more protection in terms of offense and of course defense in the Dark Worlds.
And it's very, very likely that when he makes his way up to the mountain again here, that he'll end up with Tempered Sword pretty quickly. Now, unfortunately, right now he is going to gonna orphan this one middle Hyrule Castle top check here. So for his side, we're gonna hope that's nothing. But it turns out orphaning it is not gonna be that big a deal because Old Man is right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was at maybe unless a sword just kind of pop-ups here, but because the Old Man save and quick point is actually here up on the mountain, which maybe is not necessarily the best, but at least it lets us get up to Hyrule, the Castle Tower entrance very quickly. But speaking of, so we found another laser bridge entrance of Turtle Rock. We found GT Big Key. Okay, that is our access to the top of the tower. Also pretty good for Rhuidan, so once he gets back there in GT, right, he's gonna be able to check the big chest.
Yeah, that's I was about to say that's the exact same thing there. Just go ahead and put the blue cane on there, bud. You can get through. Right.
Right. Specifically, again, in Crosskeys, there's no such thing as advanced logic. We do need some sort of invincibility item, or in this case, the mirror shield. And good thing we picked up that cane of burn.
Yeah, apparently, because this laser bridge isn't. I mean, doing laser skips and stuff, it's never the easiest thing to do. It takes a little bit of practice to kind of get used to it, and even then, you're gonna have a bad day and you're gonna mess up. It's all right. Yeah. It's not a big deal.
Yeah,
but use your items.
Yeah, we did see, for what it's worth, a really nice piece of little tech there, on Rhuidan's side in order to get like the very top chest. So you actually do have enough time with your iframes. If you end up just taking, falling in the pit, you actually do have enough time in order to walk back into the first chest. So that's actually really nice of it. You can save yourself a laser skip, at least for that chest. Looks like he is thinking about maybe what he wants to do. No flute, unfortunately, so that means he can't, necessarily get off pretty quickly.
Yeah, that's a decision where you're just like, what do I do here? And that's kind of one of those things where I think you see that more with a newer runner, where you're just like, what do I do now? And you just kind of sit there and you look over your map for a second. It probably would have been better for him to have gone back through and maybe followed the Old Man connector right there, but he's, gonna make his way back down here. I feel like we're headed down to 4, and this is unfortunate for him not having the flute, because this is going to be a bit of a walk. But once we get down there, we should probably end up back up there, and it looks like the Hyrule Castle Center is a whole fat lot of nothing. So
we are going to be denied both our comedy hour, here in late night, Crosskeys Rando. But I guess we're just gonna have to make up some content, for that days.
No.
Yeah, we're not good enough with jokes.
Yeah, no, don't ask me to be funny.
Yeah.
That's just like that's the old joke of like asking someone to not think about an elephant. It's just
It's like,
you ask me to be funny, I'm gonna have no idea what the heck to do here.
Alright, is Maniacal on Laser Bridge? Pretty nice laser skips, actually. Yeah, he does have the cane. Maybe doesn't want to follow, in this case, like the conveyor belt room.
Yeah, that might be just one of those oops, I forgot sort of things.
Okay, I mean, yeah, right, and he does have to he picked up the lamp from Hype Cave. So in this case, that he won't necessarily have too much trouble seeing. Even though if you are in the dark, for what it's worth, just get place down your Samario block and just hold up. You'll be able to get there, pretty safely.
I was about to ask, hey, where did the Turtle Rock Big Key go? And then it was like, oh yeah, right, Maniacal hasn't been here yet. So
yeah.
Well, now he's got it, and he'll be able to. I guess he hasn't checked. Oh man, he hasn't checked Hyrule Castle.
He hasn't been back here. Well, I mean, he was too busy in the first 30 minutes of the seed, like looking, getting all of the like big items, right? Mirror, bow, hammer, mitts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think we probably can excuse him for being just a little bit busy.
I mean, yeah, it's understandable. At some point where you're like, I've got literally everything that I could possibly want to do. I'm gonna go do everything. So. We're gonna get a sub-hour mitts and flute and mirror mire check.
Amazing, actually.
Yeah,
normally. You just don't see this, right? Because you gotta like try to maybe get lucky, find a connector that leads you over here, or if you're just Maniacal, just go find the flute and the mitts and the mirror, and here we go. All right. So that was Quake for Mire entrance. So we're gonna be able to get everything in this area. We also do find Ether. So. I can't actually remember what the Turtle Rock medallion was, if we did find that entrance. Alright, I don't know if actually no one ended up checking. Okay, cool. Thank you, Top File is Ether. Alright, so that means that we will can have access to that as well.
We're going to take a little bit of powder as well. I don't remember if we had seen Magic Bat yet. I didn't have it marked down, but to be completely honest, I might have just missed it. Wouldn't be the first time. Bats at well, thank you there. Thank you again. Tofile probably king of trackers for like at least this first 2 weeks here. It seems like he's been on at least one seed every day, maybe multiple seeds there. So big shout outs, big thank yous to him for kind of helping out with the tournament. If anyone else is interested in being a part of this and helping out with tracking and stuff like that and clicking buttons there, basically you get to watch Rando and occasionally click a button. It's every little kid's dream. Yeah.
or young adult or adult, fun for all ages.
True.
It was actually kind of some really nice tech on Rhuidan's side in order to kind of avoid the portal. Basically bombing yourself over and using the iframes to try to avoid portal completely. Nice little bit of time save there. Alright, so we did check the big chest of GT, only 20 rupees, so not... Man, Rhuidan, he knows everything!
I love that clip. I love that bounce. Oh, you so rarely see it because everyone just goes for the bomb jump, but man, that helmet bump.
Yeah, that was so it's so smooth and looks so cool, right? It's just like it's like you planned it all.
This is an unfortunate time. Luckily we do have a fighter sword, so we went up forward a little bit too much. Now things are getting a little iffy. We got a little bit of Eastern Palace dipping going over on Maniacal's side while we're gonna watch Rhuidan press the B button about 700 times.
Yeah, I was actually wondering, if he knows anything, if he's comfortable with like using the Cane of Perna for Armos. So let's also do fighter sword damage, but you can get them all bunched up together. You can do a lot of AoE like very quickly.
Oh yeah, you absolutely wreck them if you do that. This is part of the being a little bit newer here. I think definitely we're seeing some fighter sword spins, some things that don't work so well on Ice Armos, but gonna get. I mean, at the moment it looks like he's gonna be all right here. Things can still get a little hairy, but should be all right.
Yeah, I think it's actually kind of somewhat like Rhuidan knows how to basically get through the bottom of GT basement like really quickly, right? You know, with like the bomb jump and like the helmet bump, and then it's like here we are fighting Ice Armos.
Yep, yep. And this whole time that we're fighting Ice Armos, or we're just Maniacal is just making his way through Eastern Palace, getting a whole lot of nothing, but you know, gonna get there. Gonna get there someday.
Yeah, well, you know, I am, of course, very proud that Maniacal is dipping in Eastern Palace, even though he does not have the big key in this case. But there are, of course, in this case, you know, 4 logical checks, you know, that we can do, especially with that lamp.
Oh, okay, I am wrong here. There was an Ice Palace big key in Eastern Palace. That's actually significant, kind of.
We did find it, yeah, we did find Ice Palace on at least Rhuidan's side.
I mean, logically interesting at the very least there, but well, we'll see if that turns into something here in a little bit later. But rest of Eastern Palace, the big chest, the big key chest, they're just giving you a shield, which nobody wants.
Yeah, not at this point. All right, so Rhuidan, he's gonna do tie over for sure. Guess I'm kind of curious to see if he wants to do right side GT and sequence breakout. You know, it is forced in logic with the fire rod. You can actually still do it with the lamp and hookshot. I believe you have enough time to do so. A little bit tighter, of course, without the boots. But I guess in this case, we'll see if he wants to do it or if he feels comfortable doing so, or we'll just nope out after this heart piece here.
With no boots, the timing is tight. Yeah, like you don't want to nudge anything. It's you really have to be confident in your ability to pull it off there to get it to work. And if you're not, then you're not. And I think that was supposed to be the hand was supposed to grab him, but that was like one of the few times where I see the hand just not suck him in.
Yeah. It's like, why can't I get grabbed when I want to get grabbed? And it's like, it just never works in this case. I hope in this case Rhuidan remembers. I don't know if he's more comfortable using the mirror inside dungeons. We certainly did see him take a couple of death warps, even when he did have the mirror, and, you know, reasonable health. So hopefully he is going to be more conscious of using that mirror, at least in dungeons.
Okay, now, Maniacal, you gotta go back in there, bud. You gotta go get those chests. What?
Does he just want to check this entrance before? I
guess he hasn't seen this entrance yet, but don't do this.
Don't
do this.
Oh, he is gonna get locked out because this come out of Bonk Rocks, and he is not gonna be able to go back in.
Well, I mean, he can go back by a fluke. I mean, it's not a huge deal, but I mean, at the same time.
Yeah, he just can't, like, immediately, you know, turn right back around and go.
I think he is going to find out where Gannon is, though, so this is good for him. Rhuidan, unfortunately, he's gonna get up here and be like, "Oh, my gloves, where?"
Yeah. Yeah, and unfortunately, well, right, hopefully he's gonna go find Blind's hut soon. I think it was down here, right? Near Death Mountain?
Yeah, it's. I think it's just in Spectacle Rock.
Okay.
So, he's kind of walking there like this would be inverted, but, he should get that in just about 2 seconds, and then a sword I think also was in here, so he can he's gonna have mitts and quickly.
Yeah, exactly. He's gonna be like, oh, okay, man, now let me go find a master sword, and then he's be like, okay, here's my master sword right here. We did find this case Turtle Rock and Meyer are 5-6 crystals. We already knew 5-6 from Meyer in on Rhuidan's side. Yeah, there's his gloves.
I don't blame the angry slashes there. The angry slashes make sense.
Yeah, it's the slashes of acknowledgement that he's like, oh yeah, hey, those aren't gloves anymore. Those can be my mitts.
Well, all right. So we're finally Maniacal here at like the almost hour mark is making his way to Lumberjack. Don't really know exactly what there was a key to pod here. Yeah, Turtle Rock. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so 3 Turtle Rock keys for both runners right now. A couple of good reasons to maybe go and, well, there's not really anything they can do in it though. I mean, we've seen Laser Bridge, we've seen everything else. At this point,
we haven't seen the entrance yet, right? Like the compass chest, because we did find the entrance.
Neither runner had Samaria at the time, as
right.
Rhuidan there. Showing his displeasure.
Acknowledging, in this case, what it ended up picking up. Alright, looks like the Maniacal is finally going to go back, in this case, to the Meyer entrance. Also, Rhuidan picking up, in this case, his upgrades. Yeah, I mean, these guys are absolutely flush with cash. Also, really nice 1, 2, 3, 4 rupee count there on Maniacal side. Haven't visited Zora yet, but I mean, we found so much money that at this point, I'm pretty sure we can just spend as much as we want and not worry one bit.
So kind of interesting. I guess I understand why Maniacal didn't go into didn't go into Aga Tower the first time here, because he hadn't checked Lumberjack yet, so he did not know whether or not he had to finish this. So when he went back, he immediately went up and checked Lumberjack, then fluted back to come take care of it. So that does make sense. That makes more sense. Now he gets a mushroom out of it here. That does kind of mean that he, I guess, saves a little bit of time or goes through a little bit here. Either way, we're gonna wander into this desert connector. Now this spit out. Where did this spit out again? I forget. It spits out at Dark Witch's Hut here. So this would be a good way for Maniacal to come over to Catfish, probably. Yeah, Catfish and Zora.
So Maniacal does have enough equipment in this case, you know, to sequence break out into like Ancillary Flipper into Waterfall Fairy if he wants to, that entrance. Guessing in this case, if he wants to do that in conjunction with at least like checking out Zora.
I mean, it would be a very efficient route if he could pull that off there. Kind of forgetting that he has Mushroom and just walking right by the witch hut there. It's easy to do. With Flute though, it's kind of like, I'll get it later.
Yeah, right. The fact that Maniacal does have that flute, which was of course in the first chest of, it was like the map chest of Thieves Town, which of course is in Light World Death Mountain, East Death Mountain, which Maniacal had access to with the mirror early, and I think Rhuidan unfortunately did not when he was over there.
Yeah, he's gonna have to make his way over there in just a second there. I think Maniacal trying to flush some bombs there. Okay, successfully flushed the bombs there since we've had some Armos Knights shenanigans.
Yeah.
Oh, and it still did not want to work. I really dislike this trick a lot of the times, just for reasons like that, where you're just like, all right, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, it looks like he is going to maybe try and reset it the second time. Basically spamming out that lamp in order to reset the variable. Looks like he's still not going to be able to get it, but he is kind of low on bombs. So he's, you know what? At this point, he wanted to maybe save a couple of extra resources. We'll just come back for it, when we actually have the real flippers. Or maybe we'll find a connector that just spits us right out there, and then we don't have to worry about it again.
Yeah, there's all sorts of ways that is not going to do that. But then you see a key on Zora Ledge, and you're just like, really annoyed.
Maybe it's just like the other Ice Palace small key, or like a Skullwood small key, which we don't actually, need practically, but, maybe it's just psychologically requires. Who knows? Maniacal, remembering, of course, that he does, in fact, not have the flippers, so we're going to have to go, in the shallow water, in this case, where we're going to pretend that Zora's going to sell us the flippers, and that's how, we have to basically find the little water maze in order to get them to there.
That could quite possibly be that, as we see our lava chest today having a small key to Ice Palace. So that's both of the Ice Palace small keys have been found. So that small key sitting on the ledge there might actually be interesting. I think. Yeah, if you're Maniacal, you got to take a shot at it here. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I don't think.
Yeah.
Yeah, the rhythm's a little off there. It looked like I dislike that trick. I can get it most of the time, but then there are times, especially if I'm feeling a little bit panicked or a little bit like nervous, that I will just be unable to get it for reasons, and that is tilting, to say the least.
Yeah, hopefully in this case, Maniacal's not too worried. I was going to say, also from Chomp's chest on Rhuidan's side, he did pick up like the Uncle 10-pack bombs, which I was like, I think Maniacal actually could have used those when he was basically trying to instill a fake flipper there.
Now, how did we end up here on Maniacal's side? Was this the back of Old Man?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, we hadn't actually seen... Right, so Rhuidan, I think when he was up in Castle Tower at the time, did not decide to check it at the end.
All right, well, we're going to be able to get Mimic Cave entrance here, because we're still missing one or two interesting places, and that's not one of them, though.
Yeah, actually, right. So kind of like taking, stock at least our dungeon trackers, on Maniacal and Rhuidan side. We're still actually missing, a good number of dungeons of, haven't found, well, right, we haven't found Tower of Hera. That actually can be pretty interesting. We have not found, in this case, like the dam or Swamp Palace, for that matter. Of course, no flippers means not going to be too useful, at least initially, but certainly it's going to be some big ticket places. And of course, Maniacal does also have Meyer. He did find that earlier. He just ended up choosing not to go in quite yet.
Yeah, I mean, Meyer sounds like since we've kind of got the eye in the sky here and we can kind of know everything, Meyer is my bet for kind of our next progression. I don't know. We'll see though. It's gonna be hard to tell exactly what happens here. We've got Rhuidan about to enter the Meyer entrance. See if he actually continues in. I kind of hope he does. And
yeah, he's thinking. Yes. All right. Okay.
that is a difference there.
Maybe considering if he, maybe is comfortable in this dungeon. Now, of course, he did pick up the bow, of course, rescuing the old man, and he ended up, of course, having Master Sword for this dungeon, so hopefully he should be okay. He is a little bit low on health, but he does have blue mail, and so hopefully he's gonna be okay.
Yeah, with the one key here, it kind of makes the Meyer route significantly friendlier. Without the 3 keys, it doesn't mean that the firelock chests are actually in logic, but at the same time, you're not likely to leave them.
Yeah, exactly. Especially you have a fire source, and especially at this point, a little after the hour mark is not exactly like considered to be like late game Crosskeys or anything like that, right? So you are going to basically be as thorough as you can possibly be. Of course,
especially with the location of this place. Hey, speaking of finding a connector to a junky place, we just found a connector to a junky place.
Yeah, forget about, Ancilla fake flippering in order whatever, we're probably going to save ourselves a little bit of effort there, but yeah, we definitely do not need that connector anymore.
Well, let's see what we got. On the 3 lock side, we're going to start off with a nice, beautiful, shiny compass.
Compass, yep. It is not the compass to Misery Meyer, which of course is the normal thing in that chest. It is a compass to Hera in this particular case.
All right. Well, let's keep working our way through here. Now we got to do our fun little block puzzle here. If you really want to get fancy, you could do a hookshot clip through the blocks there, but
I'm willing to take the slow way in order to not having to if I mess it up, I'm happy to restart this entire set again.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with it too. It's just like I saw people do the hookshot clip there, the wall kicks and the the wall kicks and T-Stew and a couple of guys pull that off there, and it's kind of, to me, it's kind of like, it feels a bit like the swamp. The left side swamp block clip where it's like, yeah, it's really nice, but not necessarily useful.
It looks cool.
It looks cool.
Yeah.
I'll give it that. Looks cool. We're gonna do a spike cave. How's a spike cave sound? We want to do a spike cave?
Yeah, spike cave sounds super in logic. We also, by the way, in the vanilla big key chest on Meyer, which is locked by 3 Meyer smells, we did find a pod key. So something to keep in mind logically, right? In this case, all 6 pod keys does lock, in this case, Helmasaur himself, as well as the vanilla big key chest and Harmless Hellway. So just something to keep in mind in pod.
Yeah, definitely. But we gotta find pod though.
Yeah, exactly. Right, we gotta find pod. Right. We according to us, there's a Topile trap attacking Rhuidan. We already found, in this case, that was our 4th pod smoking and as a pendant. So maybe in this case, I don't know if it's gonna be considered less incentive to go kill Helmasaur, but of course we're pretty far away from that. But again, still just something to keep in mind.
Well, all right. So now is when I'm gonna be kind of curious here, because we're into Meyer. These are the things that are not exactly what I was thinking, but.
So it looks like at least, our both Maniacal and Rhuidan are going to finish on at least Tempered Sword. If Maniacal ends up going in, he'll certainly be on Gold Sword. Certainly not going to be too complaining on the offensive side of things.
Wow, okay, I will fully admit to being surprised that there thing in Misery Mire.
Yeah, the sword. I mean, that's a pretty nice find, I think, on the Rhuidan side. But yes, you were correct in that, logically speaking, right? There is nothing that kind of gave us like the next, okay, I'm going there, or this unlocks this for me type of thing.
Yeah, so now I'm sitting here just trying to figure out like what you do next. I mean, I'm looking. I'm starting to think we're looking at Smith Chain or the TR entrance with that Ether Medallion.
Oh, yeah, that's also very true. We do have another entrance up there on Turtle Rock because we do find the Ether Medallion, at least on the Maniacal side, in the Mire area.
And I guess we're gonna throw out. We should throw out Bombo's tablet here too because we've got that. We could climb GT for 2 lousy checks. That is a possibility.
But we got the boots on Maniacal side with Bombo's tablet. Good job, Maniacal.
the answer was Bombo's tablet. Everyone, if you were playing at home.
100%. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot that Maniacal actually had kind of just really overstepped the witch's hut, turning in his mushroom immediately, remembering also that we do have those flippers. So I don't know if Maniacal is gonna go back to Zora Ledge at any point. We do know that there's a key there on Zora Ledge, which of course these flippers are now in logic, but it is quite a big trek in order to get back there. Alright,
Well,
meanwhile though, yeah, Rhuidan does find, in this case, Front of Thieves Town. It's gonna be good for him. He's gonna be able to pick up the flute.
yeah, gonna get that flute. And also he's gonna end up with Butter Sword here. So he could probably, in about a 10-minute period there, went from nothing to Butter Sword.
Too. Yeah.
I mean, there you go. That's exactly the way that you're supposed to play this game here. And so we're gonna take this. We're gonna take this lamp, and we're gonna go do. So we're gonna go do back of Skull Woods. I mean,
Yeah,
I can.
It is.
I can get this.
Right. I mean, yeah, that's right. So it is a completable, not necessarily logically, of course, both in terms of items and keys on Maniacal side. But if we are going to be able to get our first crystal this way, Maniacal is certainly going to be, hopefully, going to be rewarded here. Of course, logically speaking, we do need all 3 Skullwood small keys. And of course, we do need that actual fire rod in order to get there. Not necessarily you're not intended to actually do that bomb jump, even though it is a fairly straightforward sequence break.
Well, alright, we're gonna get this helmet to let us through.
Yeah. I was gonna say, actually, yeah, I think Rhuidan is actually maybe gonna give us a new check. I don't think we actually saw the other entrance of Hookshot Cave, I want to say.
Yeah, no, I don't have anything marked on my side for what for what it is, and that's a good fight over on Maniacal side. That's gonna
for
take
sure.
Down. And as the survey says, we're gonna get a crystal out of that. So hey, good call after all.
Yeah, all right.
Light World side of Bumper Ledge, eh?
Well, it's probably not one of those connectors you're gonna take. But I guess for what it's worth, it puts him kind of close to Kakariko, so he can go activate his flute.
That's true, and I guess that means the one thing you're not worried about finding Bumper Ledge at this point, because I don't remember there being anything on Bumper Ledge that made me go, oh yeah, I need to remember that for later. And it wasn't a key or anything, so now that's even less reason to start pushing connectors. I mean, if I'm either of these guys, especially Maniacal, knowing everything that he's found, there's not really anything that I'm doing that's even slightly connector based at this point. There's why.
Yeah, so in this case, alright, so what's gonna be our next answer though, right? Like, we're still looking, we do have a lot of stuff, especially, right? But we're still missing, like, a ticket into Ice Palace, for example, right? We don't have Fire Rod, we don't have Bombos anywhere, and we have both, in this case, like, the big key and both small keys, actually, for, at least for Rhuidan, one small key on Maniacal side. Feels like in this case, yeah, it's gonna be pretty lucrative if we can actually get in.
Well, I think chasing these boots feels like a decent choice here. Let's check Dark Bonk Rocks real fast. Find out that it's okay. Waterfall Fairy. That's
It's
not the answer though.
Yeah, it's a very paltry, pauperous waterfall fairy, only giving us 40 rupees in total.
Yeah, for this game, 40 rupees out of 2 chests is just kind of like, yeah, okay, whatever.
Oh,
hey, how about a big key?
Oh my gosh! All right, so Maniacal was just absolutely brilliant. By the way, and it completely, I really attempted just not dip Misery Mire at all because we found the big key and we have the Cane of Samaria. That is a clearable dungeon for us.
I mean, honestly, if he watches this back, he has Maniacal. You have full ability to just go ahead and message me and just being like, "Ha, noob."
Yeah. Yeah. This Maniacal's routing has worked out so well for him. We did get, of course, confirmation. Yeah, on Buff Privilege, it was just a heart piece. So yeah, nothing to worry about.
Yeah, and I guess Cave 45 down there not having anything as well, so kind of cleaning up a couple of things on Maniacal's side. I wonder, do we see a Smith chain here? Didn't he do?
He did do it. I'm pretty sure he did. Okay, he remembered. He remembers.
Okay, yeah. That might be one of those where you forgot to mark it off on your tracker or something like that, and you just kind of go, oh, okay, whatever.
Yeah, maybe he's also just maybe out of like muscle memory. He's like, okay, I'm gonna do all these things. Like, oh yeah, no wait, I already did this. All right, look, he's gonna pick up the Smith chain. Of course, gonna be in logic with these myths, and of course with the mirror and the flute. Gonna be pretty easy. Looks like Rhuidan though, similar vibes to Maniacal. We got ourselves a clearable back of Skull Woods in order to basically claim our first crystal. So again, logic schmogic? Is that how you say it?
I would just take it. Yeah, logic yeah. You know what? That's harder to say than I thought. Yeah. I've said it a couple of times. Hey, a bottle.
Yeah, exactly. We found Sikit at like the 4-minute mark. We found our bottle at the 1 hour 14-minute mark. So that's gonna be a pretty easy check. But eventually we'll go back to Link's house.
That's Crosskeys, everybody. All right, so let's run down here. We're gonna, man. I mean, having these myths, having everything, it's a crazy the efficiency that these guys have gotten to be able to check all the entrances today. Like you're getting to route everything really smoothly, and I'm kind of curious to see if Maniacal. If his kind of staying out of some of the dungeons, they're kind of turned into a choice, or if it just kind of worked out that way. As Sashirala's complete garbage, though.
Yeah, we do have some nice knowledge, though. We did find out the Green Pendant is Ice Palace, so maybe actually that is going to be a deterrent, for people now to go back in.
Yeah, and according to Rhuidan's side there, we've got another pendant at Tower of Harris, so that is full crystal pendant knowledge for us.
For us, right.
Pretty sure that was a misclick there. Yep. Alright, we're gonna go to 7 this time.
Yeah, that's right. Finally pick up a purple chest. Using a little bit of a hook and dashing, we're going to be able to get to the locksmith a little bit faster, but just rewarded with 1 rupee.
Alright, so now, Rhuidan picking up there. Ooh, hey, that's
We did find the dam, yeah. Alright, so 100% required, because we know that Swamp Palace is a crystal, at least, joint knowledge, of course. So finding the dam and making sure to drain the water is very important for when we do eventually find Swamp Palace.
I'm feeling attacked. I'm feeling attacked.
I'm very sorry. There may or may not have been some sort of personal experience with finding the dam and not draining the water. Oh, do we find Swamp? I think you leaked it.
We have found Swamp Palace. Yeah, we have found Swamp Palace.
Oh,
we just can't do anything with it right yet because outside of the very first chest. And
right.
Oh, both of these silly people are stealing this desert small key.
Wow.
What are we doing here?
Alright, well, okay, so we do know that the other, the desert small key does need to show up somewhere, in this case, in order to actually logically put Lamolus, or, the desert boss in logic. Whether it actually shows up or not, I guess we don't really know.
Yeah, hard to say. Hard to say there. But we'll you know, we'll all just kind of let it kind of roll out of there and figure this all out later. Okay, we've kind of gotten our information on all of the dark connectors, I think, at this point. So I mean, flippers checks. I mean, why not? Yeah, let's do a couple of things. There's that whole island right next to you there, Maniacal. That might be interesting if you wanted to go there. But we're gonna go back up the mountain, it looks like. So, kind of wondering up here. Probably gonna go take care of Misery Mire, which, you know, makes perfect sense, honestly, at this point. If he's got everything that he needs to do it, just go ahead and take care of this real fast. But maybe even, yeah, you know what, this is good, smart thinking from Maniacal up here. We're gonna grab the entrance at Turtle Rock, see exactly if this is one of our missing dungeons, because that's kind of what we're missing at this point. We're missing 2 dungeons. One of them is very, very interesting, because we have a whole bunch of small keys for it, and we know it's a pendant. So if we find Pod, we're just going to open up a whole bunch of chests up front and just see if, you know, see if anything pays out.
Yeah, and this is only going to be something that has been available for a little bit of time here. Graveyard Ledge, okay, at least it's another one item that we can go get. We're just finding big keys everywhere.
That's a nice thing. Oh, that's less nice. Nice. I mean, well, it opens up a little bit more. You don't have the keys to go to a Helmasaur, so you don't. But at the same time, grr. You know, that's about the best you can give it. Is just like, you could have given me something better.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, right. I mean, you're never going to be sad in this case to see, you know, big keys. But again, you know, big keys to pendant dungeons is going to be a little bit more questionable.
Maniacal never checked PED to the best of my knowledge. I think we only saw Rhuidan do that.
Correct. You are correct.
So, you know, we'll see exactly if he feels tempted at any point to go back and kill Helmasaur. I mean, part of the fun is if we're chasing late game items here. If we're chasing a late game big key, that sucker can just appear any place it wants. I mean, to be honest, with all of the items that we got front loaded on items, and to be honest, when you're playing Crosskeys, I think you'd much rather be front loaded on keys over the items, because items lock a whole bunch. Keys don't typically lock too much, especially big keys. Big keys are just ice rods. That's all they are. And we're missing, I mean, we're missing the Eastern Palace big key, we're missing the Desert Palace big key, we're missing the Swamp small key, we're missing the Thieves Town big key. Yeah, and still missing Fire Rod, still missing Ice Rod on top of that. So we're just sitting here kind of going, there's a lot left over.
Yeah, and especially for earlier keys, right? Like, you have more access inside dungeon, so it's not like you end up, you know, like double dipping, or like you basically just single dip a lot of the places that you end up going to, right? You know, like for example, if we ever find Pod, right, we're gonna basically, in this case, you know, get most, if not all, of the items available to us.
I'm kind of curious. I mean, I looking over things, we haven't seen Dark Shopping Mall, and we haven't seen kind of the Lake Hylia Island Ice Palace entrances yet. And
oh, right, that's actually true. Yeah, so right, we certainly, you know, so Rhuidan can, in this case, Flake Flipper over and sequence break it. But of course, you know, with those flippers that were on Library that were boost locked on Maniacal side, that we are going to be good to get those in Logic.
That's good. I mean, if we can get the boots over there, the Maniacal having the boots probably now for. Ooh, hey, a Bombos medallion that opens up. Ice Palace there, eh? So
yeah, are we believers of rule of fire?
In this seed, yeah. The way that this seed is going, oh yeah, I'm going hard on Ice Palace after this.
Yeah, we have and with this case, both of course runners, Maniacal and Rhuidan ends up dipping Eastern Palace, so they do have the Ice Palace big key, which of course is going to be logic.
Well, gonna have to see what we get when we go there because gonna be a couple of minutes because at least you get 8 items. You've got full access to it too, so you can just do Icebreaker and just go right through. It should be pretty. It shouldn't be too hard. I mean, yeah. I'm thinking the blue mail, 13 hearts, and everything else going on right now should make things generally pretty simple.
Yeah, well, I mean, we have Tempered Sword as well, so I mean, like, offensive-wise, right, hopefully should be okay. Well, of course, we do have also the Canis Maria to make, use of Icebreaker to make the dungeon go a little bit faster. And, of course, we've got the Green Pendant as well in Ice Palace, so that's going to be an additional item, and of course, we do know at least on Maniacal side where Saha is.
I mean, seriously, what else could we do here? We could, I guess, Sick Kid's an option on Maniacal.
Oh
side
yeah,
as well.
that's right. We
mean,
did have the first bottle from the blacksmith chain. That's right. And it's actually relatively quick check, right? Especially with the flute, just flute over to your house and then just run right over.
All right, so we got a Gold Sword Vitreous fight here, and that's my favorite. Oh, okay? I'd leave the cape on and just let Viddy go. What the heck is hitting me the entire time?
Alright, just bombs on Meyer, but of course we do know that we do get a 5/6 crystal. As far as I know, we haven't gotten anything to spit us out of Pyramid Fairies, so that entrance is particularly still open. We do, of course, did find the bomb shop earlier as well. We have not, well, of course, we are kind of missing a couple of pretty important rods. So, of course, the beating Tradix is a little ways off, but still something that is going to be available to us. Rhuidan, on the other hand, he is so close to those boots, we could taste it.
I hope this dam doesn't make him go, oh wait, let me go check something else really quick, and then forget about Bombo's tablet. Let's see what we got here. We're gonna pull. Of course, we're gonna remember to pull the dam because he's smart.
No, nobody has attacked anybody, Days. Don't worry. Both runners are on their way to be successful in this season.
Okay, all right. For everybody who's wondering what the heck the inside joke is, I famously at one point got very excited when I found the dam and went in and got the item, forgot to pull it, ran into swamp, felt very stupid, and then had to run back and re-pull the dam.
Unfortunately, it was just too long for a actual clip.
It was fun. It was fun. Boots for Rhuidan there. So we got a good thing at this point.
I was gonna say, so I also think that this is a new check on both Maniacal and Rhuidan's side, is that we also have the hobo. I don't think anyone's actually been there.
Don't believe so either. I do have that, and we're gonna see, is this guy actually got something for us, as Rhuidan also remembering, hey, I want my flippers as well.
Right.
Immediately fluting over to go get them. Now, are we gonna turn in the mushroom? Yes. All right. We're turning in the mushroom as well.
Yeah, that's a pretty important turn in. I believe it was a Meyer big key that was in the potion shop, so hard required, of course, for the seed.
And, oh yeah, you know what? Since we're here, we've got these powder. I suppose we could go turn this in as well.
Oh, right, yeah.
Speaking
of, we have a pendant pod here in the upgrade capacity fair entrance. Oh, we got silvers though from Bat. That is actually a pretty nice pickup. Certainly gonna be pretty nice, at least on Rhuidan's side. You know, got lots of bosses upcoming, especially for example like Vitreous. Not gonna be, of course, too big of a deal. Where of course Maniacal had, you know, a gold sword, but still, always pretty nice to be able to see.
You'll never say no to killing Gannon a little bit faster and more stylishly. All right, but I think the big question is what has Maniacal found here in Pod? Or we're gonna try to get fancy. Hold on, we're gonna try to get fancy here. Hold on, we're setting up, we're trying to find the thing. All right,
Wow, Maniacal.
First part of the hover.
That looks beautiful. Wow, really nicely done on Maniacal's side. As not only is it a big time save, it is one of the hardest hovers in order to do in the game. You have to basically turn while you're hovering. It is quite difficult, even for, you know, accomplished hovers.
I mean, I am a person who has been trying to learn to hover for quite a while, and to put it mildly, I'm terrible at it, and continue to be terrible at it. So when someone pulls that thing off, that's just, I mean, just chef's kiss. That's a thing of beauty. There.
Very, very nicely done. Yeah, so definitely saves Maniacal a ton of time in order to have to, you know, go all the way to the bow lock side and actually do the mimics. Of course, very much in logic because we did the bow, but yeah, that hover is definitely quite a nice time save.
Okay, so we've got 4 pod keys, and nothing was behind them. Clear Mouse, is the game getting weird to you?
I also would like to know, in this case, where the items are, or the keys are.
This is, is this just setting up for an incredibly stupid GT chain?
Oh, where you
where you have to climb GT, or what's only in logic being the first 2 Helma chests, and then yeah, I think late bits kind of got me exactly where I'm going here. The Swamp Small being upstairs, and that leads to everything. I'm kind of feeling like that might be it, because
I mean, why not just have Swamp Small be vanilla at that point?
Why is there nothing in Pod?
That's also a very excellent question.
I mean, I guess the answer was you should have gone to Ice Palace, maybe? I mean, I don't know here.
Yeah, that's also very... Yeah, I mean, all of these options are here on the table.
Wait. Nope, never mind.
That is, yep, that is not a pod key, that is a Todoroki. That is, looks like actually our fourth, thank you, our 4th Todoroki. So, you know, we can actually get everywhere now in logic for Todoroki, but we're still missing a couple rods. Hey, look, here's another dungeon. We're just, yeah, man, all these dungeons are just locked so late.
I mean, I'm sitting here just kind of sitting there laughing at this because, I mean, we've just got a whole nother, like, both the dungeons were just sitting on the other side. There's another pod key.
There's a pod key. Very, very timely here on Maniacal's side.
So if I go to Maniacal, if I'm Maniacal here, I'm gonna go immediately right back into Pod there and get that last chest.
Mm-hmm.
Now, am I gonna go to Helmasaur? I don't know.
Oh, wow. Hey, you know what? Forget. Are we going to Swamp Days?
Yeah,
that's Swamp Small.
We're going.
Yeah, forget the pod, even though it was like right next to you. But no, we're definitely gonna go to our clearable crystal dungeon at this point.
But I mean, let's just shout out that amazing 5-key pod with absolutely nothing in it.
Nothing. Yep.
I mean, that's the fun of Crosskeys. It's just like you can get all of these amazing items at the beginning of the game, and then nothing happens for the next hour.
Maniacal had a great 30-minute start, right? We literally found like everything.
Yeah.
And then there's been like nothing for the next 45.
You just slowly go insane for the next 45 minutes because you're just sitting here going like, why is it that I'm getting absolutely nothing? This isn't the way the game's supposed to go, darn it. Well, alright. So, Maniacal gonna come over here. I think this is gonna be just a quick sick kid check.
A sick kid? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, very convenient, of course. Right after, in this case, his dual dungeon traversal. Just 20 rupees. Nothing to be excited. Actually, it looks like Rhuidan is actually going to opt to use his cape and magic and gold sword instead of silvers. Certainly very reasonable. It's going to be 2 extra silver arrows to hit, and he's going to take down his next crystal boss.
I mean, to be honest, that way's a lot of fun.
That's true. And of course, we got those boots, right? We're basically gonna put them to use in this particular case.
I mean, yeah. It's a smidge slower than doing it with your silver arrows, but I mean, like, it's fun. It's fun. I mean, you gotta have fun when you're playing
exactly.
this game.
We are here to have fun playing Brando and Crosskeys. What else would you want to do?
If you can't have fun playing this game, it will literally drive you insane.
Yeah, that's very true.
I mean, it can be so unbelievably mean to you at times.
Mm-hmm. At times, well, you mean like at all times? Right?
I mean, every once in a while, it's all right.
Okay.
All right. But I mean, like, most of the time, yeah. Okay, most of the time. We'll throw that out here. We still don't have Fire Rod and Ice Rod. Or
where are rods in this case? I mean, maybe they're just right here in Swamp, right? This is exactly where Maniacal has decided to go with that Swamp Small we ended up picking up in Pendant Hera. Alright, first chest is another bottle, of course, with a very friendly bee companion, so always kind of nice to see.
Good bees are good bees, man. Mm-hmm. They will absolutely make your gauntlet the easiest thing in the world.
Yeah. Or Mothula for that matter. Yeah.
Or Mothula. Mothula is fun to do. Again, you gotta have fun when you're playing.
That's exactly right.
But I'm at this point I'm kind of hoping here that we get something silly, because it's not like this seed hasn't been silly enough already. But let's do something completely silly and go for a Fire Rod, Ice Rod combo on left side swamp.
Oh, that'd be sweet. Yeah.
Let's go for that. Let's go for that today.
Yeah, we are also, missing, in addition, of course, to, the rods are pretty notable at this point, but we are also missing a good number of keys as well, right? We do, of course, know that Eastern Palace is a crystal. I think, right, in this case?
Yep.
Yeah, Eastern Palace is a crystal. Right, so we're going to need the Eastern Palace big key. We're going to need Desert Palace big key. And we're also, of course, going to need Thieves Town big key as well. We, of course, did find Thieves Town, but yeah, these big keys can be a bit elusive.
Well, we'll have to see exactly. But I mean, one thing on Rhuidan's side that is gonna be kind of a big deal, theoretically could be kind of a big deal, is we're going to find out what this small key is on the Zora's Ledge. It's not a big deal. I mean, it's probably not a big deal, but it could be. And if you're rooting for Rhuidan, but this is something that you want to have something interesting, because at this point Maniacal does have the lead, right? The advantage is on his side. I feel like been a little bit more efficient with checks and such like that. Small key to Gannon Tower, that's not going to do it.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly maybe make things a little bit nicer for him when he's actually inside the dungeon, but yeah, it's certainly not going to be anything that's really going to make it swing like something pretty major, at least on Rhuidan's side.
He's spawning the shield for the water cutscene. I have something new I need to learn.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, I'm looking at chat now because I'm waiting for Maniacal to finish getting over to left side swamp here, and I'm like, wait, that's a thing.
Oh, you mean like hugging the wall to like make the shield disappear? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that would be it, right?
Right. In some situations, I think, especially, depending on how many sprites there are, right? The game has to basically draw the shield as an extra sprite, so I think that's why people hug the wall in order to try and just basically raise the shield. So the fewer things on the screen, right, then the faster the water can drain, or animate in this case. It's just basically extra lag, yeah.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense there. Like a couple of things there, and it's
The most,
Man.
the most important part is to never have sword beams when the water is draining, because you can try it at home if you want. That is horrendously slow. So yeah, don't try and slash when you have sword beams. It is not a fun time.
Yeah, it's always good when you get that slow fill and you're sitting there and you're like the
Yeah,
already slow cutscene turns into like 3 times as long,
Yeah.
and it's a thing.
All right, so nothing, unfortunately, on Left Side Swamp. That was just speaking of slow things and a waste of time. So unfortunately, our hopes are dashed for that. Also, it looks like nothing. The flooded room as well. Where the heck are where are things, Dazed?
Ice Palace. Ice Palace.
All right, yeah, we do have bombos. You know, we have a fully clearable green pendant ice palace, for that matter.
Yeah, but I'm kind of with you here. I'm kind of blown away that like half of these dungeons that we've gone to have absolutely nothing. This is one of those seeds where if you're running it, you're gonna like, especially after doing the what was I gonna say? After clearing Mire, getting that Bombos medallion here, and you're in the back of your head. On Maniacal side, not immediately going to Ice Palace here, and now getting nothing, is really not good.
Yeah, it's not right. I mean, right, you got like you felt really great at the very beginning of the city because you saw so much, and then, when you're basically still missing some amount of progression, you haven't gotten it in, like as the minutes kind of tick by, it's kind of very easy to, get kind of more impatient. We have our third bottle on Argus. Not also right. So Swamp Palace was just nothing, right? Just totally empty, except a couple of bottles. Yeah,
zero things in Swamp Palace. That's what I kind of mean. Is now if it turns out that if you care about logic, third GT spell, that's true. that is true. But if you are Maniacal here and you've done all of these things and you're kind of going, okay, so I can't find what I'm looking for, blah 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 blah. Well, if your opponent went to Ice Palace immediately after getting it, then your opponent could theoretically go mode Swamp Palace. I mean,
yeah, that's very true.
It really depends on how the rest of the seed kind of breaks out, and if it turns out that the other decision was the right one, you're going to be sitting here like screaming in your head while trying to play as fast as you can.
Yeah, right. And especially kind of playing under duress or pressure is not gonna, it's not exactly like a performance enhancement at that point. Alright, looks like though, okay, so after North Dark World finishing up, looks like we are gonna finally go over to Dark Shopping Mall, so maybe gonna get a couple more, at least more entrance checks.
Yeah, there's not much left. I mean, I think we got like Mimic Cave left as like the only real item location. Like everything, see, the thing is that we've been so so efficient with our entrance checks that we've kind of found everything. So like there's a good chance that, I mean, Mimic Cave is the only thing I think that's even left for our runners to possibly find. So yeah. I mean, I think at least with Dark World Shopping Mall, it looks like I guess we did find Hotel Mario, but I mean, 3 totally useless entrances. So I'm looking through everything right now, and I think we found AA. That's true. All right. I mean, I guess climbing would make sense, and it looks like we're back into GT. We might try to. I would, if there was ever a time to think about breaking the right side, this would be the time to break the right side. And I agree 100% with Late Bit. I would probably be doing Ice Palace before doing this. But we'll see. There's gonna be I mean, there's four checks at the top of GT here.
What is behind Agate 2? I know it's like with one item. Is it Lost Bliss drop down?
It is the Lost Woods drop
Okay.
down, so there is going to be, I guess technically, yeah, if you want to look at it that way, there's 5 checks going to be through here. You're going to be able to, as long as you remember to kill the mini Helmosaur at the top, you're going to have enough keys to be able to do the right side without having to search out any more keys. But I mean, late bit is bringing up a good point with that. Every single time that we've questioned Maniacal here, we've been wrong. So,
Yeah.
you know what, dude, you do you.
Exactly. We're just gonna trust, Maniacal knows what he's doing. Whether he actually does or not is not relevant, because he seems to be making some pretty good progress so far.
You can't really, we can't really like complain too much, because like the trick here is the trick here was this, and Tofile bringing up an excellent point. Rhuidan never going to Hyrule Castle. Oh, okay. Okay.
No, that's not a good thing.
Yeah, no, this would be this is a run ender right here for him, I think. No, actually at this point I desperately want Rhuidan to fail this, because he does not have the Hera big key. Swamp Palace small is in there. Unfortunately, he got it.
Yeah, I mean, for what it's worth, though, the Hyrule Castle isn't, I guess, too bad to get to, and also getting back to Hera isn't too big of a deal, right? At least, but I absolutely agree with you in that, after this case, Rhuidan completes Pendant Moldorm, in this case for Pendant Hera, the incentive to come back here just for the big chest is not going to be very high. And he is going to basically do probably a lot of other things before going back and getting the Swamp Small.
Yeah, the one benefit could be that this is going to push him to ice, but I mean, at the same time, Maniacal is probably going to be in ice at about the same time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Maybe for what it's worth, if he does last location, the Swamp Small, he can go both Swamp, because if that's going to be the only thing he needs at that point, maybe. Certainly can be a little bit of a time save over Maniacal, who did end up full clearing it, but yeah, this is certainly going to have to be a little bit more luck, I think, on Rhuidan's side.
Alright, so we have finally arrived at the top of the tower over on Maniacal's side here. We're gonna...
Yeah, we're gonna light, with the lamp, because we still don't have the fire rod, so let's see where it is.
Okay, now what's important here is we remember to get the key off of the Helmosaur, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, alright. We have 2 very red but useless items. We don't need any more heart pieces, and we also don't need any more money.
Alright, going on to pre-Moldorm chest here. Pre-Moldorm chest going to give us 10 arrows. Maniacal is going to start sweating at this point.
A little bit, yeah.
Sweating.
Yeah, alright, so we've got the Moldorm chest. It's coming up here. Very important that we actually end up doing, of course, killing Moldorm.
Alright.
Oh my gosh. Alright, so we have one more shot for climbing GT, which of course is our one item from Lost Woods Dropdown. Meanwhile, though, Rhuidan is inside Ice Palace, and is certainly looking very likely that something important is going to be here. Whether it's going to be our Fire Rod, let's say that unlocks, in this case, right side GT, could be in this case that the Ice Rod as well would unlock Trinex, in addition to that Fire Rod. Could be any number of the big keys we're looking for in order to get us further into the dungeon itself. Desert Palace, Eastern Palace, Thieves Town.
What were those Aga patterns?
I don't know, dude.
Just have one of the freest triples that you could ever get.
At least our path to the Lost Woods Dropdown is going to be very fast.
I mean, to be fair for Maniacal, I mean, you can still easily mess that up, and he did that. But I mean, he did perfectly there. Well done to him. At the same time, man,
yeah,
that was friendly.
Oh, we got a small key. Oh man.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's logically required. That is not, of course, what Maniacal wants to see. So hopefully he does not feel too bad, because it actually looks like while the climb of GT is logically or technically required, it is certainly not practically required.
Yeah, that's kind of where we are right now. As Rhuidan is trying to get this icebreaker to behave here, but having a bit of issue there. It looks like got it that time. Okay, now we're gonna make the move. Okay. I got through. Alright, well done there. Clean enough icebreaker.
Yeah.
It's always, you know, if you get, the faster you can get it, the better, but if you get through, like, it's gonna save you a ridiculous amount of time, so, alright, well done on his side.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, you could basically sit there forever. Well, maybe not forever, but I mean, like, you have a lot of time in order to, you know, if you can icebreaker out and go from back to front. Alright, first, finally, big key is to Eastern Palace. Requisite big key here in Green Pendant Ice Palace.
Alright, really quick before he opens another chest, how many big keys in this palace?
3. Because apparently we already found another one. Oh man, big key to Thieves Town. Alright, so that is going to be another crystal dungeon that we can complete. We don't have the small yet. I don't know if that's going to, you know, delay Rhuidan's trip over there. Or in this case, if he's just willing to basically, you know, say like, forget the big chest, we're just going to go and get our next crystal.
Alright, going down. We're gonna go down to iced tea room here, see if we can get that third big key.
Just bombs.
Don't worry, we got 2 more chests.
Oh, just that bar? Yep, that bar is a big bully, but at least we got the heart back.
And getting our Hyrule Castle key there for Maniacal, which is completely pointless for his stuff right now.
Alright, okay, so we still need a fire rod at some point. I'm still expecting it to show up here in Ice Palace somewhere. But, you know, if it doesn't show up, maybe it'll show up either on Green Pendant or Thieves Town or somewhere else where basically all of the progression we found here so far in Ice Palace. Well, there's an ice rod. That's pretty good too.
I mean, it's thematically, you know, consistent. I'll give it
That's
that.
true.
And
there's our small. Alright, so there's our small key to desert. Okay, so now we don't have to worry about this key stealing. People can actually go back and comfortably, you know, logically open the right side of Desert Palace for 2 additional chests.
okay, now hopefully the lava chest there for Maniacal kind of makes him go, oh yeah, right, I should probably go to Ice Palace.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we got both Ice Palace small keys on Maniacal side now, as well as the big chest, or the big key.
I mean, you talk about the sea jumping up and down and saying, "Hey, come here! Hey, come here! Hey, come here!" It's been saying that for Ice Palace for a decent amount of time. I will kind of say that. All right, we're gonna do a couple spin, double a slash, do one more slash, and say gold sword.
Yeah, thank you, exactly, thank you, gold sword. Maniacal, I think actually, so I don't think Rhuidan did this. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think we checked the compass chest yet here in the front of Turtle Rock.
No, this is new information for both runners. So, is this where our fire rod is, or is it hanging out like Jay Coper says in the back of Thieves Town? And well, right now it looks like back of Thieves Town is a likely candidate.
Yeah, back of Thieves Town, back of Eastern Palace, we got the big chest and Armos itself for another 2 locations. We also do, of course, have the green pendant on Cold Stair as well.
I mean, there is the list of places that we can go right now and things we can do is unfortunately very long for an hour and 50 minutes into the siege. At this point, you were kind of hope that things would be a little bit shorter, but not gonna be the case here. Looks like Eastern Palace is gonna be the first guess here for Rhuidan here. Got to come over to the checkerboard cave entrance. And we're going to grab these 2 items out of here, and let's see, quick look again where Thieves Town was. Thieves Town's up on the mountain again, so we're going to find out.
Yeah, and of course, you know, especially important on Rhuidan's side, that, you know, in this case, Michael has already done. Rhuidan absolutely needs to go back to the front of Escape and get his big key to Tower Para, which is in Zelda Cell. Of course, with the, you know, Hyrule Castle's Sewers key, it is completely in logic, but that is going to unlock the Swamp Small, which is definitely hard required for this particular scene.
And it's just, the chain to get it is awful. It's awful. Like,
it is.
You have to go to the pod entrance. You have to go to the pod entrance to get there. And then after that, after you go to the pod entrance, you have to decide, I'd rather do that rather than climb GT for the 5 items or any number of other things. I mean, and if he gets Fire Rod before he gets that, he's going to have the items on the right side of GT to chase as well. So, like, there's enough here that it's for Rhuidan that it's like, man, this is a rough situation for him where he's finding the items in the order that the game kind of hoped that you wouldn't.
Yeah, exactly. And, I guess, if you, live by Herapod, you succeed by Herapod, you also potentially, you get super burned by Herapod. For what it's worth, I think you mentioned this earlier, right? You're really hoping in this case that Rhuidan would actually fail the Herapod. He soft lock himself, or maybe he can't find the right pixel or something. If he couldn't get up there, right, to Tower Para, he would actually have a reason to go back, especially once he does find that big key. But now, even if he does go find it, it's just one extra check, right? In a pendant dungeon we've already cleared out.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm getting the one extra check there out of this, there's no way I'm going back for it. I'm just like, never. We get a big key here to Desert Palace over on Rhuidan's side as well. So, I mean, he would be fire rod from go mode if he had gotten that swamp small right now. And this unfortunately for him is showing us what Maniacal is likely to be running into here in about the next 2 seconds. So there is unfortunately for Rhuidan a pretty substantial clock here on what's next. On how much time he has to pretty much just make the right play. I mean, it's going to be a rough one for him. I mean, we'll see if he can do it. I mean,
for sure, right. But it's just kind of like not necessarily, boding well for Rhuidan's chances when he is finding things that are directly on his path, right? Like, no one is going to miss the Big Heated Desert when it drops from Armos, right?
Yeah.
Now, you can't really make a wrong decision at that point.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes the game just wants, in Crosskeys, it's so easy to think, I've got to check everything, because, a lot of times, yeah, you got to check everything, but every once in a while, the game likes to throw you that kind of curveball, where, no, you didn't, you just needed to rush dungeons, what were you thinking? Like, you didn't need to check everything, why would you check everything? You're being silly, just rush the dungeons.
Yeah, just go to, the right entrances and, the right places in order to get the right items.
Yeah, but when do you know that's gonna happen? Yep, and so we're gonna go into this fight real quick here. 1, 2, and Mystery Rock hit Rhuidan, but takes down our friends there, Landmo, and that's gonna be another crystal for him.
Yeah, certainly the crystals are really nice to see, but of course with that Desert Palace big key, speaking of, we can go back to Desert Front. There is the big chest available to us. There is also half magic on the torch. Not sure at this point if they really care about it, but of course there is also, Desert Right side for a couple of additional checks.
That's a good point. That's 4 items just sitting there. If you go over to Desert Palace, this is kind of where he's going, I think. Yeah, thinking about it at least.
Yeah, right. And maybe this is going to be a bit more appealing. Maybe he'll find the Thieves Small, right? On Desert Right side, and then he'll be 100% comfortable going into Thieves Town.
That is an option, and actually that would be really good for him if he does that, say, and then say Maniacal goes and beats Thieves Town immediately, gets a little bit more aggressive with it, beats Thieves Town, and then leaves our fire rod sitting in there. But we're gonna grab a big key to Swamp Palace.
Let's pretend that we didn't pick up that big key, okay?
I mean, okay, that's for
Rhuidan it's okay because he hasn't been there yet, right? For Maniacal, we're just gonna pretend that we haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm trying to go. Is that an out? That's kind of an out almost. I mean, because it's still a bit of an ass.
Right. His path to Swamp Small is a pretty high slope in this case in order for people to climb. But once he's there, that's why Palace Vicky could be down.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. It's the fact that it's been locked behind the Swamp Small. It's an out, but at the same time, by the time that, never mind.
Oh, wow. Alright, that's our fire rod. So not technically on the way for, after Desert Palace Vicky, but it is certainly going to be a, high probability location that Maniacal's going to go after Eastern Palace.
Yes, yeah, that's kind of the key. It's a high logical thing here. I'm okay. I was about to say, I was like, I thought Maniacal had silver arrows here, so he had just turned them off. That's fine. That's fine here. But Rhuidan is, man, it's just. I'm trying to think of a way that he decides to go check pod entrance, before going up GT. You know, I'm trying to think of a way that happens, and
he has to go, but he has to go visit. Yeah, he has to go visit Escape, right, and to do the front of Escape. And oh my god, I don't even know if Escape is on his mind at this point, right? I mean, we have suddenly so much available open to us in GT, right? You know, you mentioned we can do GT right side now with the Fire Rod. We can do the full climb. That seems just so more appealing than just like the front 3 chests of Escape.
I mean, that's where we are with this late game. Is you're just trying to decide, like, hey, what are you doing? You know, what's the best way to go here? So Maniacal's gone to Eastern first here, and gonna grab his desert big key in just a second. There he goes, got it in his hand. And next thing for him is to hop down, run down to desert. We're gonna see him do exactly what Rhuidan did, and yeah, it's this is kind of rough here for Rhuidan. So he kills his Trinex. Yeah, that's another crystal for him, which is good.
Yeah, no, definitely still making progress. For what it's worth, you know, with the Trinex kill, we do end up opening up our Pyramid Fairy entrance. And again, we know there's nothing out there that can end up helping Rhuidan. I don't know if I think you might have mentioned Mimic Cave. I think we still haven't actually seen that entrance for the one item cave location, but I mean, probably not going to be something that's going to be worth Rhuidan's time.
I mean, if you do that, that's your best opportunity to go over and check pod entrance.
That's true. That is very true.
Oh,
right, yeah. Rhuidan Rhuidan reminding us that there's this Fire Rod locked 2 chests here in Turtle Rock as well.
Yeah, this will have completely,
nothing.
Nothing. I mean, nothing that can help him, even if it has the Thieves Town small key it's pointless. It's pointless here for him. At this point, we're just, Maniacal is literally a step from go mode here. If he ends up over at the Desert Palace Big Chest. So, well, we'll see what his next decision, because he doesn't have much. I mean, going to Thieves Town would make sense in his case. Even if he does that, it's not going to burn him.
Right, exactly. Yeah, and but you know, I think he's also, for what it's worth, you know, this is also, you know, good play on Rhuidan's side as well, is to kind of try and put off Thieves Town as long as he possibly can, without really kind of hindering too much progression. You know, hoping that the Thieves Town small is going to show up. For what it's worth, though, you know, Thieves Town small can absolutely be self-locking in the Thieves Town big chest, so don't necessarily always try and depend on, you know, see if you can, you know, finding that small the small key before you go in.
Let's see. I'm looking over the possible desert entrances here. He's not, Maniacal's not heading towards one. He's going to do Thieves Town first here, which, I mean, to be completely honest, I think I agree with at this point. Like,
sure.
If you're being, I mean, there's an argument for not doing it here because of it's not in logic, and you should probably go find the other thing just because it's late game. There's less chances for it to be there's more chances for it to be in the Fire Rod, to be in the big chest. I mean, Fire Rod to be in the big chest, but I mean,
this is right.
Scared.
Yeah, I mean, right. It's gonna be, you know, you also have 3 additional items that you can get in Thieves Town, right? For all you know, the Fire Rod is basically just sitting here, and again, the small key could be self-locking, so.
That's true.
Don't worry about it. You know, just pretend it doesn't exist. And that is a actually really nice dash on Maniacal's side. Lined up the pixels quite well in the hallway. And then enemy, of course, RNG did cooperate with them a little bit.
It looks like somebody's been practicing their NMG just a little bit on his side there. I heard some reports of there being an NMG league, and I know that I was not invited.
I believe also it was just open signups if you wanted to join. But yes, there is also an NMG league. I don't know if there's Maniacals in it either.
Oh, I'm not an NMG player. I'm just being a twerp right now. But
And Lee, for what it's worth, it's also broadcast on CSR. Should be some, I think we ended up wrapping up week 1 earlier this afternoon. But certainly keep your eyes on next week. There's going to be more stuff on CSR as well.
Definitely, yeah. If you want to if you're enjoying anything that has to do with, Zelda speedruns, I mean, I would definitely subscribe to a channel called ZeldaSpeedRuns.
Yeah, that sounds pretty apt.
I mean, yeah, do the thing that makes sense there, guys. And all right, so what do we have back here? I mean, we're not going to find anything. I mean, it could be another couple of heart pieces for these guys, as Maniacal's got the commanding 17 to 16 heart. Heart
yes,
lead
absolutely.
Right now.
I don't think they have skipped anything, by the way. Every single heart piece, I think they've had to. They were forcibly, picking up.
Well, alright, so into the blind fight over on Rhuidan's side. We're going to get to see that your good old-fashioned nine hits to do whatever. We've got a blue cane out just in case, because, if this goes off script, you just kind of pull out the blue cane and let her go, because occasionally you're going to let that, let a spin go there. And, oh, this is a different way of doing it, but... the same.
Yeah, blind still in his, upper left corner-ish, so certainly, looks pretty good. We do have our 4th bottle, collectively, of course. Rhuidan, I think it looks like it is going to be a 2nd one.
And yeah, there we go. So, Maniacal with crystal number 6, and...
Yeah, it looks like 6.
Rhuidan with crystal number 6.
Oh. Tofile, actually. Apparently this is that's right, yeah, this is Rhuidan's first bottle, because he hasn't gotten to the Smith chain yet. That was where our other bottle was.
So go and get your 20 rupees, sir. Go get those 20
that's
rupees.
Right. He remembers, yeah. He's like, finally, my first bottle after 2 hours after I found Sick Kid is gonna be 20 rupees.
Give me my swamp small. Alright, and for Maniacal, he's about to hit go mode, because this is a desert entrance that he's fluting to. He's gonna check out a couple things here.
Poor Sick Kid.
I don't blame him. I don't blame him, because unfortunately what turns out where his pod key is just absolutely awful there. Maniacal is going, oh my god, no.
Yeah,
you're
please
not
really
no,
gonna
exactly. Put it there,
please
are
no.
you?
Alright, we've got 2 more hopes. Yeah, he is running out in this case. I'm not actually sure what's going to be faster he does with the mirror, but his Desert Palace entry portal isn't very convenient, so probably going to be just a little bit faster. But the fact that he has not left Desert Palace means that he is going to go pick up probably his half magic, but then also, very importantly, his Fire Rod.
Yeah, this is gonna be it right now. We're gonna go pick up like you said, pick up that half magic. As soon as we pick up that Fire Rod, I'm kind of expecting the save and quit, because that old man is sitting on top of the castle there, and 2 doors down from him is the laser bridge entrance to TR, and then that'll be all she wrote. So
yeah.
And there you go, 204.30. That's go mode for Maniacal there. Unfortunately, not realizing that he can just... Okay, there it is. Yeah, they're a little bit delayed. Oh, I'm in go mode. I gotta go do stuff.
That's right. It's like, oh, wait, that's right. Yes, I can go kill Trinex. So it should be a relatively, straightforward path. Gonna be pretty quick on Maniacal side. We have Gold Sword, we have Half Magic, we've got the Cape out. Not quite that one. That's right. But yeah, we should be quite good in terms of execution.
I don't foresee any problems. I mean, not having red mail means that things could hurt a little bit more, but
the fact you have 18 hearts, I'm not so worried on Maniacal. But I am, stressed out to the max though on Rhuidan's side with only his 16 and a half at this point. I don't know.
16 and a half is not enough. It's not
enough
hearts.
I mean, we saw he just lost another half.
Yeah,
I think he was hoping that Swamp Smell would be vanilla. Unfortunately, with the way that the sea has gone, could actually have been the case.
Yeah, I mean, this is gonna be a pretty good time here for Maniacal looking after this. Like, I'm probably looking at something like a 208, something like that, depending on how much Gannon likes to mess around with him. This is good. This is altogether really good, and yeah, I agree with Jay Coper there in chat that, this is going to be a good time considering everything that he has done.
Yeah, I was going to say, he full cleared Swamp Palace, he full cleared Pod, right? Two completely empty dungeons. Oh, we were so close potentially to go into pod. I think, yeah.
I feel like we might see a GT play on his side, just because, I mean, why would you chase that one entrance over going to GT? It logically in your head, it was like, I know where items are, let me go do those.
Yeah, he has all the keys too, right? Or he has enough keys in order to basically, get his way around.
Yep. And Maniacal making his way to go on and fight Gannon here in a second. Here, gonna jump into some water, swim across this little stream, and make his way to the graveyard where Gannon is hiding today.
Yeah, certainly, as expected. So we are going to see, in this case, a little bit of new content on Rhuidan's side. What exactly, in this case, Compass Chest has, or Compass Room has for us.
See, I'm trying to think what he could find over here that would be interesting. I guess Hera Small. I mean, Hera Small might, but I mean,
small.
Even that, I feel like Hera Small would just be like mean almost at that point.
Yeah.
You'd just be like, hey, you wanted the other one. Oop, get through it. All right, good.
Yeah, all right, yeah. So of course, Gold Sword on Maniacal's side just makes very, very short work of Gannon already on phase 2, where he's gotta go through the motions of hoping he doesn't work too many times. Free Aga 2 patterns means free no Gannon wars. Actually, looking pretty decent until he started the last one. Oh, look, there's our Thief Small. That's not great.
But
Alright, who cares about Torch Glitch? We just gotta get a couple more silvers.
1, 2, so there's 3. We're gonna see Gannon move over here, and there's gonna be 4, so go ahead, yeah, grab your GGs. As long as we don't press up before we hold the sword in the air, everything should be fine, and there we go. GG's for a Maniacal today, who is going to cross the bridge, come in first place in this race, move to 1-1 in the Swiss brackets here, and finish with a time of 2:08.27. GG's there to Maniacal.
Yeah, very, very well GG's. Amazing early game route. Like, he had basically the entire world open to him within half an hour. Like, Moon Pearl, we're talking like Moon Pearl at, 2 minutes or something like that? Mitz, Hammer, Mirror, Samaria, bow, flute, basically within 30 minutes. Quite the route.
And yeah, and it really worked out for him there, and that was kind of the problem, where it's just trying to figure out exactly what was the right thing to go, and it turns out that the answer today was you wanted to go into Ice Palace, and that was the entire seed. So yeah, I could see very much how that seed would be absolutely terrifying. For Maniacal there, as does look like Rhuidan has decided to go ahead and forfeit there. I completely understand, because I don't want to try to find that stupid Swamp Small key. That thing's terrible to find.
Yeah, and unfortunately, again, he has made, very logical and reasonable choices, especially where he is right now, right? Going on the GT climb, going to right side after finding, so many options open to GT, but, sometimes, unfortunately, it was, the chain that the game wanted you to take was Front of Escape, right? With the big key to Hera, and then, Swamp Small was there, and that's what Rhuidan is looking for.
And looks like, at the very least, Maniacal thinks should be joining us today for a little bit of a chat here. We're gonna make his way, gonna give him a couple of links to follow to get over here, but should be able to get to talk to our winner today when we get the chance here. He's not quite here yet so we're gonna have to track him down in just a second. But yeah, and well, never mind. There he is. All right, Maniacal there. GG's on the win, bud.
Yeah, GG's Maniacal.
Hey, thanks. GG to Rhuidan as well. That was a really scary seed.
Yeah, tell us about how you basically felt, I think, in the first, half hour. Your early game was quite amazing, actually.
It was absurd. It was absolutely terrifying. I looked at an entire map of green and said, what the hell do I do? And like, I'm just starting to think of like, how do I efficiently piece together anything out of this? And I just started with swaths of things, because When the second glove fell off of Ether Tab, I was just aghast. I didn't know what to do. And so it just becomes like, what can I do for volume? And one of the things that I really struggle with in Crosskeys is compartmentalizing and keeping track of all of the different like limiting factors in seeds. I was lucky that because of the loadout, we were able to basically let go of worrying too much about connectors, although there were a few important ones still. But even still, just like, what's the approach? And then like I was missing certain linchpin items. It was weird. I had so much stuff, but nothing to do. It was really bizarre.
Yeah, it was definitely a weird sort of seed there going into the 30 minutes and just realizing you pretty much had everything open, but then nowhere that you could actually go to, and it all hinged on pulling those boots off of Bombo's tablet.
Yeah, and I felt, I don't know, I kind of medium late to those, but like I didn't feel like it was a disaster.
You definitely got them a little bit before Rhuidan, though. Speaking of, we also do have Rhuidan joining us. GG's.
GG's.
Yeah, GG Rhuidan.
Yeah, that was a fun seed.
It was unlike any Crosskeys I've ever played, but I mean, that's part of what makes Crosskeys fun, is how topologically diverse they are.
I laughed so much because I only had the fighter sword, so I checked the ether tablet, and it's like, oh, it's a glove. You walk down and there's a Blind's hideout with the other glove, and you're like, well, that's cool. Or with the sword, sorry. You're like, that's cool.
And then you found your first glove, right? And also Blind's hut?
Right? Oh yeah, you got both. Yeah.
So you went from hammer fighter sword to hammer mitts pearl master sword in like a minute. I was just talking about how it was overwhelming for me.
And then there's Ice Palace.
Yeah, I was so late to Ice Palace, and it felt real bad.
Okay, so where was the Swamp Palace Smokey?
I think it was Hera Big Chest.
Yeah.
So it turns out that no one could have known it at the time, but Maniacal ended up going through, I think it was the Old Woman connector to the pod area, ran up to pod entrance, which is the only accessible Hyrule Castle entrance for you.
Mm-hmm.
And in the basement of there is that. And he ended up doing that at like, I want to say
12 minutes or something.
Yeah,
it was super early.
And sorry, go ahead, bud.
I was wondering about that. I was just hoping the whole time. It's like, I don't want to go back to Sank and go into the Dark Cross chest. I'm just hoping it's just not there.
Yeah,
no,
it wasn't Dark Cross.
It was a Zelda cell. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There was. I mean, honestly, at that point, that's just one of those you just shrug your shoulders at, and you just go, "All right, game." There's nothing you could do there.
Right.
I completely forgot that was where the Hera Big had come from, because I had it so early, and I'd written it off as like, okay, I don't want to ever really have to bother with this thing, and so I wasn't going to prioritize it with chasing until I found the Hyrule Castle small. But then in the being overwhelmed about the loadout part of the seed, I just forgot about that.
Yeah, it was something.
It was crazy. There were a few times where things were going so quickly for me that like I failed to track them and would like double back on myself just to be sure that like I was sane. Like I never marked, for instance, the Skullwoods entrance when I went into the back of Skullwoods and got the first item. And then I was like, I'm pretty sure it was the hammer entrance in Village, but I'm not certain. And so I went back to it a little earlier than I would have, just in case I was wrong about which entrance it was, and then would have had to like backtrack to other entrances I was doing at around the same time. Because I remembered roughly when I found it, but there was so much going on that I just had a few slip-ups like that, and so it got me a little scared. I was really worried that the small on Zor Ledge that I failed to grab was the Thieves Town small, and that was going to burn me.
Not this time.
Do we know which small that was? On Zor Ledge?
GT, yeah.
It was GT Small 4. Okay. Did we find the Thieves Town small?
Yes.
Okay, where did it come from?
I don't even know. I think I grabbed it in the last like 10 minutes, so it was pretty recent.
Yeah, it's GT Compass Room.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was Fire Rod Go mode, so I didn't get over there.
I mean, it's just kind of unfortunate how it happened to work out there for Rhuidan there. But I mean, honestly, outside of just that swamp small, I mean, you guys were pretty close to each other for most of the seed.
Well, that's good to hear.
Yeah, that's always good to hear. I hope it was, an interesting and fun race.
For sure. Oh, I did actually have a question for both of you. I guess I don't know if this is something that you guys typically do. We also did notice that both of you ended up stealing the small key from the back of Desert. Is that something, I guess, like you just kind of, do and hold on to just in case type of thing? Because I know you also did find Desert, right side very early.
I definitely always grab it, but I feel it's just like Schrodinger's decision. You use it, then you got to find the other one, and then when you do use it, there's nothing there. It just never works out in your favor.
Yeah, it was a situation where I really didn't want to ever have to use it. I didn't have a plan to use it, but I re-entered because I thought, if things get bad enough, I'm going to probably have to scum this key.
Pretty much.
And at that point, I think, so that was when I found Desert North, which I was pretty late to that. I was doing that, like, right around the time I was getting boots out of Bombo's tab. And so I think I was just like, okay, there's enough loose threads hanging around that I could potentially lose something that's critical. And at worst, having this Desert small in pocket can give me like a calibration check, and I can see, if there's something behind there, or, basically have it as a safety valve that I never really want to use. So, ended up not using it, and then going back to Desert East at the very end. I'm trying to remember what the Desert Small was in. Eastern or Ice Palace? Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was one of the four crazy things that came out of Ice Palace.
Yeah, Ice Palace, big chest, in which of course the big key was at Eastern Palace. So.
Yeah.
I mean, there is a possibility of this seed being extremely fast. So I mean, coming out of Ice Palace, there, like we were talking about it, especially because you go through Misery Mire, and for a while we thought, oh, Misery Mire is going to be the answer, and then. Man, all you get is bombos out of Mire, and then
it was not exciting.
And then you go to, you go to Swamp, and Swamp had like 2 bottles, and that's all. And man, it's just the moment that you hit Ice, we were joking like, how many big keys are they gonna find in there?
I couldn't believe I went and saw a kid with a bottle. I was just like, oh, I must have a bottle by now, not actually checking.
That was crazy that you've been here for this. You did the seed for that long, and you're only on 1 bottle at this point. Yeah, GG's to you both there. Maniacal, you're going to be moving to 1-1 and facing that absolute gauntlet of people there. Rhuidan, you're starting out 0-2, but I mean, still going to have some fun matches ahead of you, I imagine. There, how are you guys feeling going into week 3?
I'll yield.
I think I'm in the better bracket.
Oh, don't worry, there are plenty of Sari people in the 0-2 side as well.
No.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
It turns out the field is just scary, and so the 0-2s are scary, the 2-0s are scary, and the 1-1s are scary. there's half the field is 1-1 or will be. So there's a chance to draw some matchups where maybe I can be competitive, and a chance to draw some where I'm probably going to get steamrolled pretty badly. But
yeah, this is my first time actually being restreamed, so thank you so much for doing this. I appreciate it. It was awesome.
It was a lot of fun for us. So
yeah, thank you. I mean, you guys have to have the match.
Yeah, exactly.
we just talk.
Yeah, I was glad to see that this got picked up. So thank y'all for picking it up for the restream. I do appreciate it. Everyone putting their time in to make this happen and let us provide a little bit more coherent of an entertainment out of our race. So I really do appreciate that. I noticed that no one else was racing late night Saturday, and I thought, that's kind of anomalous. But I'm glad that we were there to fill the time slot and give folks something to watch.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it was a pleasure to be a part of this for sure. And definitely a big thank you to both our trackers there, 8-Bit and Tofile there, who definitely helped out with figuring out exactly where everything is in the seat and keeping us, kind of helping us fill in some of the blanks and trying to figure out what you guys should be doing next the whole time. And I think big shout outs actually here going to be to Jeef there, our restreamer today, who this was his first restream. And
hell yeah.
I would have to say, yeah, did a pretty decent job with it, I'd say.
Oh no, yeah, the restream went super smoothly, no technical issues here, so thank you so much. I just really wanted to I also wanted to just shout out again, I thank you so much, Tofile and 8-Bit. I mean, very excellent trackers. I think Daisy also mentioned earlier, Tofile has signed up for at least one match per day. Certainly doesn't look like to be stopping anytime soon. So thank you so much for your service. And I mean and thank you so much, 8-Bit, for tracking this when everything actually looked just super accurate all the time. So it really helped us out. Maniacal and Rhuidan, thank you so much again, so much. I mean, again, really just glad that you were basically allowing us to restream you guys. It's actually really exciting and fun race to watch.
Yeah, thanks so much. I look forward to watching it back and kind of seeing how it went down and what y'all were experiencing from sort of the other side of the screen. It's always fun.
So here's a preview. Every single time we were like, oh, should we be doing this? And you guys then you just find Blind's Hut with 5 required items or something like that. Or you know what? I think they know what they're doing.
Yes, thank you guys so much.
Yeah, and of course, I also just wanted to say thank you so much again, Days. Always a pleasure. Looking forward to the next time, which I believe also potentially we might also have our next match actually on Monday. But I will let you have any final thoughts, and potentially Jeef just let us close this up.
Yeah, no, I mean, I Clear Mouse as always. It is always a pleasure and always something I look forward to doing. So, yeah. No, guys, we'll see you again. We're going to try to get as many of these Crosskeys matches restreamed as, ZSR will let us there. Again, they work on volunteers, guys. So if you guys are enjoying this and you want to learn how to restream, or you want to do commentary, you want to talk with me or Clear Mouse, which I highly recommend talking with Clear Mouse. Super fun. Go ahead and, follow some of the links there to the channel, to Zelda Speedruns there. Just, do everything that you can to get involved with this. Many people, this is where they've started out with, with getting involved in the community, because it's a good community. We're nice people. We have cookies.
And bees.
And bees. So look, we got bees.
Yep.
And all right. And other than that, I'm going to kick it off to our restreamers there, and I'll bid you all good night.
All right. Thank you, everyone. So we are wrapping up our stream here. Please do check out Twitch chat for links to more tournaments, more speedrunning, more runners, all sorts of goodness in there. Coming up on ZSR tomorrow morning, Let's see, it'll be noon Eastern. There will be another Crosskeys race that'll be on ZSR3 between Moogle and Brogor. And also some other non-linked fast randomizer. There's an OOT randomizer weekly race coming up at 9 a.m. Eastern tomorrow morning. It'll be on ZSR2. And 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, there's a Wind Waker randomizer Season 5 tournament qualifier, and that'll be here on ZSR Main. And yeah, again, just echoing all the thanks to everyone who made this all possible. Runners, trackers, commentators, it's been great. We are gonna close it out here and pick someone to raid. So, oh, and of course, thank you all Twitch chat, the viewers like you that make it possible. That'll do it for us. Have a good night, good day, whatever it is, wherever you are. Take care.